going on here. We're going to try another live over on this one. Hopefully, you guys will catch up to us here in a minute. I don't know. Lori, let's plug this phone in
I'll take that off.
and see if anybody shows up.
Hopefully, like we said, it's like we actually ask you guys to please jump into a different life if this will happen. Oh wow, this is kind of like a bad view.
Hmm?
You always point it down, like the camera, so it's always looking. Oh my god, a lot of you actually came to this live. Awesome. Hopefully, we're in a totally different phone, like literally a totally different phone. We are in a different live, so hopefully this time doesn't drop. It's like because, oh my goodness, this is just like we said, we have
Frustrating.
it's frustrating, so we don't know why is that happening. But anyway, guys, so we are back. It's like at least with some of you guys who is transitioning at this point. I guess I should go to the live, the one that we had before.
Yeah, and see if
tell
you can.
everybody is like jumping to the new one. Uh, oh my god! I just saw the face that you had the new live.
Oh, love technology when you're out in the middle of nowhere. All right, now I'm sweating like a stuck pig running around like a little kid. Sorry, gang.
Gang. Anyway, so thank you for coming to this new live because it's like we said, we don't know what's happening. It's like it just sucks. But we are gonna have to figure out because it has happened already on 3 lives that we start and all of a sudden once in a while they just like dump us out of there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give up on AT&T.
We need to Google or YouTube how to YouTube live.
Yeah, we should try to figure out how to do this, and then maybe.
I mean, you would think it's just like start the YouTube live. That you would think that's a thing, but I guess not.
Well, we used to have the issues with it on the. Like, anyways, let's not talk about that. These guys are slowly making their way back in.
Trying to make you guys straight because I think, oh my god, see, it's like how sweaty we are. It's just hot.
So, again, any questions, guys? Drop them in all caps. Make sure you copy it just in case we drop and you've got to re-put it up there. Again, thank you guys so much for coming over and jumping onto the new stream. Hopefully we can get this right. Did Miller come back over?
No, I don't see him. Hello from Miami. Rainy, hot, and muggy. I know. Actually, Paul Naboo, or some, like, I think a French last name. How do you find boondocking spots?
Freecampsites.net is a great resource.
I would say Compendium also has great resources because it will have pictures if it has Wi-Fi or not Wi-Fi, cell phone signal or not. And also, it's like you can see if big rigs or not can fit. And also, all states will have some overnight spots. And I'm missing one. Overlander will have also free boondocking. That's how we found one around Lake Tahoe. That's very hard to find. And although it's a little bit tricky to get up there, it's like we were able to find something there too. Mm-hmm. So that was nice. It's like, Jen, will you be coming to Buffalo, Niagara Falls, New York area?
Hopefully. Not for quite some time.
I would say hopefully eventually, but not like we have any plans.
Yeah, we rolled through there last year, really early, actually late 2017. But yeah, not in the near future, anyways. Unfortunately, it's a beautiful area.
Oh, Doreen is here. We miss you guys.
Dorindy, Ed, we missed you guys.
What's the temp there? Oh, it feels like 110, but we don't know.
It's crazy in here right
you
now.
have been for so long on the coast or in the mountains, we went. I mean, you guys saw we were in Kings Canyon and then Yosemite and then Tahoe. I mean, it's like all these areas that is high elevation, and we got used to the 75 degrees. Literally for many months right now. Many months. Right now probably it's not that hot, but we can feel it because we have not been in this for a long time. It's
supposed to be 94 here today, but it feels warmer than that.
Yeah, it feels like, again, it's like have not been in this weather in a long time. What? Johnson is Lauren and Paul, when you guys were at the bar live, that was an awesome show, perfect Wi-Fi. I'm assuming that was in Baja?
That was in Baja, Mexico, yeah. Well, and that was done just simply on the phone, and that's what we've been trying because that one worked so well, and then since then, we haven't had any luck with it going just on the phone.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. We might
This-
go back to the laptop.
We might go back to the laptop, but this right now we're streaming from a Verizon phone that we hardly ever use, and it seems to be fine. But I hate to say
Well,
anything.
the funny thing is the second life seems to be always better than the first life. Like, we get caught up in the first life, and usually the second seems to work through. I don't know.
Who knows?
Cindy and Rose are in the house, back in the house.
Cindy and
over
Ross,
here.
what's happening?
Are you in California? Brenda coasted. Yes, no, we're
No,
not.
we're in Nevada. We're just outside of California.
Technically, we left California already a few days ago because the boondocking spot was in the Tahoe area, but in the other side.
Yes.
So, yeah, we have left already California
Yes.
a few days ago.
We were in Lake Tahoe, and if you're on the west side of Lake Tahoe, you're in California. We were there for the first 2 weeks. The last several days, we've been over on the east side of Tahoe, which is in Nevada. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Dennis Yee, where are you planning spending the winter? Florida.
Florida-ish.
Florida-ish. Actually, we think we have a commitment here on the West Coast in October. But then after that, we will probably head towards Florida. So if you guys are East Coasters, plan to go to Florida in January, around the time
Yeah,
of the show.
and we'll probably be there December, I would think.
I don't want to promise anything because he likes to
I'm not
come-
promising.
He likes to this time, and then it's like we'll probably will not be there. It's like John Chalker is in the house.
John Chalker, Waterbury, Connecticut.
Oh, Karen, can you close the shade behind you?
Oh, yeah. Probably that.
Probably we should do that. So yeah, less light pollution behind us. What's the update on Florida meetup?
Yep. I can't get anybody to freaking call me back
Well,
or email me back. I gotta
There's-
start making phone calls.
places are not the place that Paul really wanted doesn't have availability that specific weekend, and there's other places Paul is trying to contact. They will not get back to him because obviously we need all a place to kind of like get together, and that has been the challenging part. So it's not like it's not gonna happen. It is gonna happen.
We just gotta figure it out.
We just need to lock a place, and that's the hard part, locking a place.
If anybody has any suggestions. So what I checked out first were fairgrounds. And because I figured what I'm getting from the reaction from people, or I'm getting 100 rig figuring. So I looked at fairgrounds. One of the fairgrounds has got stuff going on the week before Tampa RV show. Most of them I can't get to call me back. So I started looking at racetracks like speedways and things like that. They have huge parking lots, and very rarely do they use them. So I emailed a whole bunch of them in that area. Not a single response back. So this week I really need to start calling everybody. Hey, what's going on? What can we do? I can't think of any other areas like that where you could do, 60, 80, 100 RVs.
If you're in Florida and you have like a big acreage property, let us know.
Anybody got 100 acres in Florida that we could use?
Oh my God, that's a lot of acres. We don't even need
10
that
acres?
many acres.
10 acres? I don't know. Anybody got 5 or 10 acres, or know somebody that's got 5 or 10 acres of swampland in Florida that we can park on? We'll take
just
it.
for a few days.
Yeah, just for a few days, 4 days, 4 nights.
Okay,
So-
Dawn. Actually, she has a very interesting, good question.
Dawn
It's
who? Which one?
Dawn Klein.
Don Klein?
Yeah. It's says with the growth of full timing, we are seeing a lot of realistic costs of full time RVing videos. Any thoughts on this? I would say it's for the most
You're
part,
going to get me started.
it's we see more trending little by little, the whole oh my God, reality of RVing is if it's it's not what they tell you, or this is how much it costs to RVing and all that kind of stuff. It's all based on experience. It's literally all based on the person, and you cannot talk about something when you have been 1-2 months on the road, 3 months on the road. If people are actually doing videos because they have been already a year or 2 years on the road, even then it's a little bit kind of iffy, because our spending to your spending is gonna be totally different. We're gonna go to different kind of restaurants. Some people are gonna go out and eat out a lot. Some people are not. It's some people are gonna boondock a lot for free. Some people would like to go park to park.
Yeah.
And to $50-$70 parks. It's some people like to do tourist attractions that are expensive. Some people, they just the only thing they like to do is hike. It's so it's extremely up to you how much you spend. It's kind of like Vegas. Reminds me to Vegas. People will ask me, how expensive is Vegas? It's It can be as cheap or it can be as expensive as you want.
Yeah, you can stay at Circus for $40 a night, or you can stay at the Bellagio for $250, $300, or you can go to the Wynn at $500 a night.
Yeah.
Here's the trend that I'm seeing in RV channels right now, guys. It's driving me crazy, and I can get all the hate mail I want, or the other channels to be pissed off at me I want.
Here comes the rant.
Here comes the rant. I see these channels that have been up for 4, 5, or 6 months posting all this stuff about all the stuff that you need to go full timing, and this is for full timing, and that's for full timing. All of these experts that have been on the road for 4 months or 5 months, it's just you have no idea what you need or want or how it's going to work in 4 or 5 months. We have completely changed the way we traveled the first year. Completely.
From the time that we started spending literally or traveling, literally our number one expense traveling was eating out for the longest time.
And fuel, they were kind of like tied for each other.
We will spend on fuel about probably the first month probably $900, probably $1,200 on food. It's like eating out, not buying, just eating out. Now totally different. It's like now we have slowed down, and since we sell the business, we have to be more conservative with our money and all that stuff. So now it's like we are boondocking more, so we're spending less on actually campgrounds. We are not eating out as much. It's like we still eat out, but not as much as we used to.
Right.
And also fuel. We're not driving like the long haul distances that we used to. Now we're like being more conservative.
Shortening it up, spending more time in each area. Yeah.
So that the nice thing about RV living is that you can control your cost.
Yes.
You can literally control your cost. So if you're an extremely tight budget, I know some of you retirees is like you're in an extremely tight budget and you're like, this is what I have a month. You can make this lifestyle cheap. Yep. It's like you can really make it very cheap. And I know some of you is like they have the huge budget. It's like, and you're like, I'm just going like all in.
Park to park to park.
And yeah, it's like
full hookups every single time.
Eating out and all that stuff in prime spots is like, and that's very expensive. So it's regardless of what the video say, you can see, okay, based on the lifestyle of this person, this is how much they're spending. You can compare it, but it's not the real cost for everybody.
Right. Everybody's going to be all over the board.
Everybody's going to be
But think about that. $2,100 fuel and food our first year out. And that was probably the first 12 months. It's because we moved too fast, too far, and we never ate at home. We were on vacation for the first year, not even thinking
with
that.
The mentality we were on vacation.
Yeah.
That's another transition you have to make. You're not on vacation. You're actually, this is your home,
this is your house.
This is your life. So that's another transition you have to make.
Yeah. But all of this, like, experts that have been on the road for 4 to 6 months, it's just not even possible. Isn't it? Malcolm Gladwell says to be an expert in something, you have to put in 10,000 hours. Like,
yes.
You don't know what you want after 4 months of RVing, or people go, after 4 months of RVing, what we've learned. You haven't learned anything. You have not learned anything after 4 months.
A little bit, but not enough.
But not enough.
Everything, because we even know ourselves how much we have learned in the last few years.
And continue to learn on a daily basis.
Yeah. I mean, with that being said, it's like, again, it's like expenses is very tricky subject, and when it comes finances and numbers, it's like some people are gonna be, oh, nice for you guys. Other people are gonna be, it's like, you suck because you don't know how to manage your money. So
and that's why we don't post it.
You never make anybody happy.
Not when it comes to finances. That's why we've never shown that stuff, like how much it costs to RV, because we never came out here with the intention of it being a super cheap lifestyle. Since we've sold the business and we don't have the income coming in, that's changed a little bit. We've tried to make it a little bit cheaper. But when we first started out there, we go again. It's starting to buffer
Sure,
again.
the computer guy says, then you guys do a speed test before do a live stream. He's like, of course we did. He's like,
I'm going to smack you. Who said that?
Joe, the computer guy.
Guys, I play a dummy on TV. I'm pretty tech savvy. I'm a really good mechanic. And all of the stuff that we talk about, where I joke about, trust me, I've got friends like Kevin who are super tech guys. On 3 different networks here, we've tested them all. AT&T was 90 down and 45 up when we started this, and that's the first one that disconnected. This was 9.5 down and 5 up when we started, and it's just starting to disconnect. Yes, we check that stuff. I'm sorry to get upset, but because I sometimes play the dummy, people always are like, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, but anyway.
Okay, done. Like your wish that DMV Sacramento was as fast as Reno. It's like we were actually surprised how fast we were able to get out of the DMV. Like we were ready already.
Oh my goodness,
We were
crazy.
already mentally ready to be there for an hour to two. It's like we have even like downloaded a movie, I think, on my phone.
Yeah.
But it was like
Yeah,
we
it
were
was
in and
crazy.
out.
It was crazy. Those little kiosks are awesome. I'm assuming every state has that. If your state has them, they're amazing.
Jennifer Brown, are you planning an Albuquerque Balloon Fest in 2020? Reservation is open on 10/22. There, that's in my bucket list. Definitely Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta is in my bucket list. And Nancy and Barry, they're actually volunteering there. And she sent me an email saying, Lorena, you can still volunteer and they can get you in. We don't know if the timing is going to be right to do it this year, but on 2020, we don't even know. The timing is going to be good then. It's very hard for us to plan that ahead in advance. So it's like, it's in the bucket list still. We will be there eventually. We don't know when we will be there though.
Yeah, we still had the opportunity to get in this year for volunteering, but we just never pushed it.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if you're volunteer, you're actually enjoying the balloon fiesta. That's
Right,
that's
right.
my
You're
whole
going to
thing.
spend a lot of time doing that. So, yeah. I mean, I would prefer to non-volunteer, but it's an option.
Might be just a way to do it, just like as a, I don't know, experience, I guess. Kevin Klein, Paul, you know that YouTube doesn't give you extra money for 2 live videos in one day, right? He's like,
They don't give you money for any live videos.
yeah. Paul, thanks for answering my question. Looking forward to meeting you two at the Tampa RV show. Yeah, hopefully we get to meet you.
I gotta get that figured out, man. It's stressing me out now because we've got, what, 5 months, 6 months left? I mean, it still should be plenty of time, but I need to get on the phone and just start cranking the phone calls out.
Diane, if you go down 20 and hit Weatherford, Texas, we have a free spot with water and electricity for you.
Woo!
It's not hot right now there?
Yeah, I don't think she means now. I think she means on our
Oh.
way to Florida.
Sox. I know we know Sox, but who is Sox?
Solex.
Solex. How old is Ozzy? Does Ozzy have a birthday? He is 6 years old and he turned 6 in April. I never know the day exactly. I just know it's April. So it's like knows his birthday, and I actually have his birthday day.
And I've asked
I
him
just
many,
don't
many
know.
times, and he just refuses to tell me.
He does. He says meow.
Yeah,
Like,
he
you
does.
don't understand him. Hi from BAM. Cheryl is here.
Cheryl and Richard, how you guys doing?
Will you be
Miss
in
you guys.
Vegas at the end of October? We actually might be.
We might be.
It's like,
There's some things in the works, some stuff that we might be doing. We don't know yet.
yeah, it's like still in the works, but we don't know. Like,
Yeah.
text you later privately. Floyd, the dog, we're driving back from Mount Rainier. Scope out the alarm lamp for later. Let us know what you find out and if it's cool. RV cruising, we have a room for you near Cocoa Beach. Big driveway with power and water. Bob and Cheryl.
Hey, Bob and Cheryl, can you guys
Thank you.
fit like 60, 70 rigs in your driveway?
To do the meetup there.
Yeah.
and
Do you think your neighbors will mind if we just start plugging in at their houses?
I'm sure they will. George Smith, hey George! I need to answer your actually.
George, what's happening?
He sent me a thing and he's like, I have not gone around it. Did you care we're in Florida? I would say closer to Tampa will be the best.
It needs to be closer to Tampa. Our idea for that was to be 4 nights together, so 4.5 days, 5 days, 4 nights, and take a day's break, and then people could go to the Tampa RV show after that. So yeah, close to Tampa somewhere, between Orlando and Tampa is what I've been looking at. Those are the places I've
A
been
little
looking
bit north, a little bit south, as long as it's close to Tampa, because it's like we want to do it before the actual RV show.
at. Yeah.
So everybody has a time off. By the time the RV show comes out, everybody has the time off to go and check out RVs or whatever.
Including us.
Including us.
Yeah, we
exactly.
want to go check out the RVs there.
RVDM, we plan on wintering in Florida. We are 3 weeks away from closing, and our house that we have lived in for the last 17 years and starting our full-time RV adventure. So
Woo-hoo!
they're almost closing, yeah. And we have not even bought our RV yet. Wow, so they're about to go full-time and they don't even have an RV yet.
Nice.
That's kind of crazy. Wade, hi from Georgia, Adventure Nation Inner Circle.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Wade. What's happening? How you doing, buddy?
Brian Wright, you are bumping up against both Bike Week and then Daytona. No, because they are in
March
or late February, early March, and we're talking about more like mid-January.
Mid-January. It's like the 12th. It's like the 12th to the 16th, something like that.
Yeah, Cindy with Y and double E. Your shirt is pixelated. It's tripping me.
Yeah, it's got stripes on it, so it's it's yours. Yeah, because of all the stripes.
The smaller stripes. Yeah.
I've got a blue and white striped shirt that I used to wear, and everyone would always complain that it was fuzzy and make their eyes goofy. So now it's you.
Oh, by the way, actually, somebody shared their monthly spending. I will say, is like
they're brave.
Joe the computer guy says my average is $2,500 a month. That includes everything. For us, it's a lot higher than that. We'll have to say.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That for us at first was fuel and food, fuel and eating out, not fuel and food, fuel and eating out. Now, single guy Joe or single guy or husband wife? That's what we need to find out.
No.
Thank you for that. That's awesome. I mean, that's something we could always do. Is do a thing where everybody shares what their monthly expenses are as they're full timing. That's going to get you a better gauge than somebody going, this is our expense.
And again, we have some expenses that are not quote unquote RV related. So it's like, I would say we will have to make a number based on taking out those expenses that most people will not have.
Yeah, we have some crazy tech expenses that we have as far as...
Brenda says hypnotized from Lorena. So yeah, I guess my dress is doing like a thing. Let me see.
Quickly, I think we're way behind.
It's a trick to keep watching. I'm frozen again. Frozen, how much did you spend for your rig? How much did you spend for our rig?
$32,000 is what we paid for this.
Plus now the upgrades.
And the upgrades, I think we spent 3 or 4.
Well, we're talking about cosmetic upgrades, or we're talking about like with gadgets and everything?
No, not gadgets.
Okay, without gadgets, just cosmetic, like changing TV, put the surround sound, and the kitchen stuff.
Kitchen wall, bathroom,
and all that
this
stuff.
thing here.
Yeah, probably $3,000 for that.
So we're all in this thing, $35,000.
The Snowdens are in the house. Just
Deb and Randy, what's going on?
So again, guys, if you have any questions, please put them in all caps so I can read them. Kim Smith is here. Kim, it's like, you're already back from Alaska, by the way. It's like, that was quick.
Yeah, they went up and back in a hurry.
Try cold weather RV camping. I don't know which one I like more. Hot or cold. At least cold, you can like put the furnace. It's
cool.
Like,
cool weather camping was all right. Tahoe's perfect. I mean, we never had the AC on. We never had the heater on. It was just Tahoe weather was just amazing. It was just perfect for RVing for the summer.
Sally, I traveled 5.5 hours and looking for a bathroom was hard, so traveling full time will be excruciating for me.
Not enough Class A.
Or Class C or Class B is like anything that has access from the cabin to the bathroom. It's just like, believe me, that was my number one thing, because Paul will make me suffer. When we were like actual road trip in the car, like I would be like, Paul, I need to go to the bathroom, and then it's like, and he will be like, oh, it's like next up, next Chevron or next, it's like, and I will be like, oh, there's a McDonald's. He's like, oh, I missed it, so the next one, and he will do that like 2-3 times.
Yeah, to me a 5 or 6 hour road trip is a 5 or 6 hour road trip. One go, don't stop. But Lori doesn't have to do that anymore, and that's why we chose this type of rig for us. Without having to pull over, she can get up and go back and do her thing, and I don't have to ever hear it.
Rick Vance, a lot of people use Thousand Trails to save money from what I've been seeing. And you are correct, and that's the keyword, saving money.
Yeah.
Not like leisure, cool camping.
Right.
It's just for saving money.
Thousand Trails is for saving money. Somebody in our last video, I saw a comment that popped up on my phone that said, why are you always complaining about Thousand Trails? What's wrong with you? If you're staying at Thousand Trails and you're not complaining about them, what's wrong with you? There are some great, they have some great campgrounds. but
Yeah.
they always miss the mark by just a little bit.
Mhm.
It's like always going to a restaurant that cooks your steak perfectly and then doesn't season it right. Or, you know, the beer is always super cold. I don't know what beer because I don't drink, but the beer is super cold, but it's always stale. It's that kind of thing. And that's Thousand Trails in a nutshell. We just stayed in Lake Tahoe at Tahoe Valley Campground, and that's an Encore property, which is supposedly their higher end property. The campground was nice. They had a lot of stuff to do there. And when we were checking in, they were not super pleasant. So it kind of takes your experience and goes, it's just the way it is. So, yeah, they always miss the mark by just a tiny bit. It's crazy to me.
I mean, I know what I'm going in for, so I know they're not perfect, so I go with the mentality that it's not going to be perfect, so I know I'm going with that mentality. So I don't have that many complaints when I go with that mentality. If I was paying big bucks for it and then they're not delivering, I would be like,
Right.
yeah, what the heck? But because I'm going with mentality, it's just a place to
It's just
stay,
a cheap place to
so
stay.
we can actually go somewhere and do some activities or put some work time or something like that. It's like, it's not that bad.
Right.
It's really not that bad.
Right.
It's like, it's worth the money. Literally, it's worth the money monthly. It's like, but besides that, it's like, it's not something that we'll rave about. Oh my God, they have the best, amazing campgrounds ever. It's like, no. It's like, but definitely saves you money so you can splurge in other areas, whether it's activities or whether it's other campgrounds after
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
By the way, I noticed, guys, that there is a few like bad comments. I already blocked a few of them, so it's like because of that, I'm not gonna stay like on top of the chat. I'm actually gonna always be on the bottom of the chat to see who is coming up and making comments. So if you have questions that we have not answered, please paste them, write them or paste them, copy paste them, so I can see them because I'm gonna stay at the bottom of the chat.
Yep.
So.
Oh, we got a few jackasses in the house?
Yeah,
Alright.
I still think it's the whole like I don't think it's actually even viewers. It's just like we have noticed that there is people just making back.
Well, yeah,
back
they
comments.
find a live somewhere and they come in
Yeah.
to say stupid shit.
Yeah, Art Rose says Thousand Trails needs to spend some money on the parks and modernize them. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That we totally agree with that.
That Yosemite Lakes Thousand Trails that we just stayed in. You guys just saw the video. We just left there, right? It's a nice RV park. It's a very nicely laid out RV park along the river. The lodge was cool. The front gate was broke, so you could drive in and out through the front gate. So, not a big deal. I don't care about security in a campground. It's just not a big deal to me. I don't care if you can drive in or out. But that was one thing. And then our electrical box had no cover on it, cobwebs, spiders, looked like somebody had backed into it once or twice. It's stuff like that. Stuff like that drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not gonna deny that. With that being said, there's a few of them that they have really done a good job. Like one of our favorite ones is, well, mine will be the Houston one. Paul didn't get to spend time there because he was traveling.
Willis,
but,
Texas.
It was amazing. With the closer one to Houston, I guess.
Mm.
And what has been the other
Rancho
one?
Oso was nice.
It was very nice. And I think
But we stayed in the tent area.
we stayed like in a super wide and shady spot. It was a beautiful spot, but it was not on the like next to all the other RVs. So I guess that also make our stay there very different.
Mm.
I would say Yosemite and Tahoe have the same feelings about both of them. It's like they're not bad campgrounds, but they're not great. They're just crowded because the area, the location they're in, they're just crowded. But they have always things going on. They have like movie nights and they have music nights and they have always something going on. So again, not all of them are bad. I think the worst time for us of them all will be Las Vegas and San Diego. So far that we have been. I mean, we don't know
Right.
other ones.
Right.
But anyways, like so that will be my take on that.
1,000 Trails, yeah.
RV Wondering is here. Tom and Faye, hello.
Tom and Faye, what's happening?
They said
What's
actually
happening,
their average 1,000 trails right now is $6. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not get our average really
Right.
like lately, but it's like if you really use it, you can get it down.
Yeah,
pretty well.
absolutely. That's what we said. 1,000 Trails is a cheap stay. I would bet ours right now is got to be around $10 a night. So that's hard to beat full hookups, and they're not all full hookups, but they have dump stations and stuff. But yeah, you can't beat the price. It's not the price. But for me, it's like, do you need to double my yearly camping pass? Double that to paint the
It's
posts?
still a pretty good price.
Still a pretty good price. $1,500 a year instead of $750 for the year for camping. If I pay you the extra $750, can you paint the posts and put a cover on the electrical? Like that's my thing. I'm not saying it's not a cheap place to stay.
Patrick's on the move. Hey.
What's up, guys?
Nancy and Mary is like, some PT are definitely better than others. We love a couple anchor parks in Arizona. I hope the same in Florida. Anchors are totally different though. We heard, I probably should not be saying this.
What?
I already said it. But we heard, who knows, it's gonna be true or not, they're trying to make actually the anchor parks part of Thousand Trails. Who knows if that's gonna happen or not, or we don't even know a timeline or not. It's like, but anyway, the thing about it, Anchor parks are a lot better because they charge a lot more money than actual Thousand Trails. So of course they're gonna be better. Totally agree with that. We have been in a few, not in many, but a few.
Right. They normally cost us $20 a night extra.
And it really makes a difference. It's like, so, but
again, the one in what's Fairview Park? Fairview RV Park in Portland, Oregon is a Thousand Trails. It's an Encore property, and it is absolutely immaculate. The full-time seasonals, the full-time RVers that are there, their spots are immaculate because their expectation is to keep your spot pristine and immaculate or get the hell out. And I think every campground should do that. This is our campground. You're just renting the space. Keep your spot nice or get the hell out.
holy stuff.
Yeah.
Nomadic is in the house. Hello, Steve.
Steve, what's happening? Where are you at, dude? Are you chasing us down or what's going on?
SB says, hello from Zion National Park. I was like, have you been here? We have been in Zion. We have never been in Zion with the Motorhome.
Where's that?
Zion.
Oh, Zion, yes.
It's like, we have never been there with the Motorhome, but we have been there before.
Many, many times.
Actually, I just saw like some of our new friends, Charron and Mark, they were there hiking the Narrows. That's also in my bucket list, hiking the Narrows. I think it will be super cool. So eventually we'll get there, but it's like we don't know where.
We hiked the Narrows once when we weren't quite prepared for it.
We just hike it for very little. It's like, but how hot is there? Like, I'm so curious, how hot is there right now? TT memberships get you discount on Encores, not in the TT package. I agree with keep your spots clean. That's Patrick's in the move. Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. Hi from Sonoma, the perfect place to meet for meetups. I totally agree with that. I'm all up for wine, so believe me. That's Robert.
Robert?
Robert Kelly.
Oh, I thought it was Traveling Robert for a minute.
Actually, Traveling Robert was like, we were like literally missing us for
Traveling Robert was in Tahoe, and my
kind of like Carson City.
We missed him by literally 3 or 4 miles.
Literally by an hour or two, I would say. Like, he was passed by an hour or two, and we have things to do. He has things to do. We have things to do, so it was hard to get together. Susan Pearson is here. He's like, let me see. He's like,
Susan, what's happening? Give Rick hugs for us.
When did you two decide to stop full time? Maybe open your own RV park.
That may not be a bad idea, and it may not be something that is not already in the works or thinking about. So we'll let you guys know. It's something I've wanted to do for quite a while now.
We have talked about it a lot because now we have been into enough that we know where there is a need or a gap and what needs to be fixed, or some place that we're like, wow, this is immaculate, is great, right? So it's like, I think, and that's just a thought, is like we can create a pretty good campground. So we have chat about it. We're not gonna lie, we have chat about it. But
and with what I want in there, if we can keep it between $150 and $200 a night.
Yeah. Amazing resort and spending all this money and charge like $20 a night. It's like, Paul, you know that's not doable.
I want to have waiters and ties serving you at your door. No, I don't.
And somebody just like
fanning you if it gets too hot at your campsite.
I need
or at least around the
right now.
At least around the pool. Yeah, right now it's just oppressively hot here. So.
Lori Luss came in late. Where are you? We're in Nevada, in the middle of the hot heat of Nevada.
Yes. We are at Lahontan, Lahontan, Lahontan State Recreation Area, just east of Carson City, Nevada, Nevada's state capital. And it's hot as blazes here. It's probably mid-90s right now, mid to high 90s.
In an RV, it's a lot. It's like
Yeah.
it has not great insulation, and we're dry camping, so no AC, so we just have the window open. So
We can put the AC on for a little bit.
no,
Right now.
it's fine because it's gonna make sound.
Yeah, that's right. It'll get noisy in here.
Question. So Patrick's moving on. It's like, have all TTCs continue adult pools or adult pool hours, or just in California?
I don't know. So, what do you mean? There's no adult
Well,
pools?
remember in San Diego, they took away the adult pool. Now it's all family pools.
Right.
It's like, so is it that everywhere in everywhere in Thousand Trails, or just in California?
I think every RV park should have either an adult pool or adult pool hours. Not everybody wants to have the screaming kids around them all the time. We don't mind it every now and then, but then there's times where we just want to kick back and relax in the pool, and yeah, we don't want screaming kids. So we don't know the answer to that, but my belief, every RV park should have that, where 4 to 6 adults only or whatever. But if they just continued that in, I know Pio Pico, they changed the adult pool. Did they just take that away totally? That's crazy.
What do you mean take it away?
Well, they switched the adult pool
To family pool.
to family pool, and the other one.
And the other one's still family pool.
Oh, they don't
It's
have
just all
any adult
family.
pool.
No adult hours or no.
Oh,
adult
that's
pool.
crazy.
It's just family
Oh,
stuff.
well, that sucks.
Brian Wright, thanks for the advice on Harvest Host. You're welcome. Actually, we have not been able to stay lately on Harvest
Yeah,
Host
we need to
because
check it out.
we have been in California low wineries, and those stays usually are expensive for us.
Because of her.
I don't know why. Have you had to deal with jury duty? Lori Hines.
Why would you ask that? Touch wood. No, we have not yet.
Well, I can't. It's like
Lori can't because
I'm
she's not an American citizen yet. She's in the process.
Yet, so it's like they still haven't comic. It's like, have you? Actually, I know a person is like that. Just went through it, and it took her 4 months to go through the whole process. For me, it has been since October of last year.
Yeah.
And still have not called me. So.
Yeah. So Lori's been waiting since last October to get their interview done for the citizenship, which normally takes a few months. But yeah, they're a little bit backlogged.
Eat, sleep, RV, repeat. I love that name. It's like, since guys are entrepreneurs, do you have any business ideas in the words that are RV related? We always have business ideas on the works now. What we actually
Lack is the funds to do it.
planning to do, that's a keyword. Planning, totally different.
Yeah.
It's like, but like we just actually commented a moment ago, it's like we are not opposed to a campground.
The campground is not out of the question. So.
No, but the question is like where to put the campground. That would be the question. So, anyway.
So that's one of the things we're tossing around is if we did do that, where would we do that? Would we want a summer campground or a winter campground? Those are the sort of things. We could do a summer campground in like Colorado or Lake Tahoe area or something like that you only operate in the summer and then it shuts down because the winter snows come and then you get the heck out. Or a campground in Florida that we could have a more tropical feeling campground, but it's more winter related, then summer kind of slows down, but you still have to keep it open. So yeah, those are some of the things we're tossing around, folks.
George Smith, if you're homeless, no jury duty.
What's that?
So technically you're homeless, no jury duty.
Yeah, well, we always thought that you could just say I'm a full-time traveler and that they would tell you to go away, but we just had one of our friends tell us that he got called for jury duty in Florida, and I think he's flying back. I can't remember what the exact outcome of that was, but yeah, I used to get all the time before I became an American citizen. I used to get things, and I would just put on a thing, not an American citizen, send it back, and I haven't got one in a long time. So I don't know how that works with jury duty. I would think that if you say, I'm a full-time traveler and I'm on the West Coast and you're on the East Coast.
Depends also on what state you are. Some states are more like strict on the rules versus other states. We understand South Dakota, they understand there's so many full-time RVers and stuff like that, nomadic living people in South Dakota, that you just basically tell them I cannot show up, and I guess it's like that easy that they want to take in account for jury duty.
Yeah.
But I understand there's other places like Texas that are more like strict, like if they're asking you to go there, you have to go there.
Right.
So we're actually looking right now into changing our domicile. So I'm sure that's gonna have an impact and an effect on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, who knows?
So
We'll find out.
Anyway, Paul Nabu Jr. says, my wife Adriana is asking, why did you decide on this lifestyle? Paul or I?
What? Why did we?
Yeah, it's like, why did you decide on
Oh,
this lifestyle?
I don't know. Here's the deal. We've told the story before, I think, but basically, Lori's father was in bad health, and Lori had went
Yeah.
to Mexico for a month, and left me by myself, which means I had a lot of time to think, which is always a bad thing. And we had the nice house in a nice neighborhood with the Harley Davidson and the pickup truck and Lori's car and a successful business, or successful in my eyes, anyways. And I was still bored. Like I was still like, I was bored out of my mind. I was like, what are we gonna do
I
next?
think some of you probably are going through that right now. That is like you're going through the gimmicks of life, and just you have it, the house and the car and the toys and everything. And you're like, I'm still not happy. It's like I'm having all the things that I'm supposed to have. I'm
All
still
the
not
stuff.
happy. Yeah, and I'm still not happy. Like I need something else. And I think that was it.
Yeah, and for me, I was like, all of the things that I wanted, I had the majority of them. The cars, the beautiful wife, just the house. We vacationed every year, but it was just, I was still like, this is it. Like, I got the stuff I thought I wanted to work towards, and now I've got it. What's next? And so I started researching, and at first I told Lori, I've got the idea. We're gonna grab a sailboat. We're gonna sail around the world, sell everything. And Lori's
I told
answer.
him, I am not gonna die in the middle of the ocean with you. That's
Right.
literally what I told him.
And I told her, look, I can YouTube how to sail. I just get the boat, we push it off the dock, and away we go. Well,
We will be in the middle of a storm, and he will be trying to Google how to get out of the storm in a sailboat. So I will not
course.
go through that.
right. So then I thought, well, we still like to travel, and we talked about traveling the world, and I was like, well, let's travel the United States. We haven't seen even a tiny amount of the United States, which after 2.5 years on the road, guys, I can tell you, we've still seen a tiny amount of the United States. But we decided, let's see the U.S. Let's grab an RV. We can put our stuff in it, get rid of all of the stuff that we thought was going to make us happy, and go out and seek some experiences. And I will tell you what, the experiences far outweigh the stuff, in my opinion. Lori still likes the stuff.
I do. I mean, I do. I'm not gonna lie. I told Paul I'm not dying or spending the rest of my life in an RV. It's like I think it's a lifestyle that I enjoy right now. I'm not like thinking I'm slowing down. I love it. Obviously, you guys know, and if you didn't know, I told him I will do 1 year RV lifestyle. If you give me 1 year on something he will not do, that is go and live on an island. And I love the Hawaiian Islands. So it's like that was our compromise. It's like 1 year and 1 year. So far, it has been 2.5 years, going to 2 to 3 years at this point. Then it's like, and I think that says a lot of how much I like the lifestyle. It's like, but for me, I also still like my stuff. I still like to, like even like kitchen stuff. I cannot have as much kitchen to make my life easier to cook or do stuff. It's like I need to be minimalist on the kitchen, but also sometimes it's kind of like comes to a cost. It's like I cannot do everything I want to do. So it's like my point being is like there is limitations, but I think what we have seen, what we have done, the places we have been, the people we have met, the experiences we have had, cannot replace. I would have not had any of those at all if I would have stayed in my house in Las Vegas. It was a pretty home. I have a lifestyle. I can shop whatever I wanted to shop. I have my car. But I totally, now that I'm past that point, I totally believe it was totally worth it to give that up to have the experiences I have in the past 2.5 years. I mean, the people I have met in the last 2.5 years, because I know a lot of you guys, we're gonna be long-time friends, like at this point. So it's like, I think that has been amazing. So what brought me into lifestyle? Paul was it. He sold it hard. It's like, and at some point I went through some stuff in my life that I was like, okay, what's the worst thing can happen? Is like I come back to Las Vegas and get another house and all that stuff. It's like that was my worst case scenario. So when you see the worst case scenario, and that was the worst case scenario, I was like, let's go for it. Let's do it for a year. And it's like, and then we do other stuff. And it has been amazing, I have to say. So what made us to get there exactly at that point? For me, it was more about also being bored in our life.
I just wanted to wanted to get out and travel.
And there was some health scares too back then. So we were like, we need to live life. It's like as much as we can. So I think that was part of it.
So was that the short answer?
It was not the short answer, but I think something that a lot of you guys are also kind of like questioning
Yeah.
yourselves: should we do it?
Should
we
we?
not
Shouldn't
do
we?
it? And all that stuff. Just ask yourself, what's the worst case scenario? And
Yeah.
we know a lot of people that say we cannot go full time, but we can go part time. We can go 6 months out of the year. We can go 7, 8 months out of the year, and then go back to see their families and to see their friends and all that other stuff. So it's like that might be a way you can do it too.
Right. But ask anybody you know. If you know a wealthy person, ask them, all of the stuff you have bought, are you happy? Has that made you happy? There is not a single person that says, yep, I bought everything until it made me happy. Not a single person says that. There's nobody that says that. Nobody will say that I've bought all the things I can buy now and now I'm happy. If I just get one more thing, I'll be happy. Doesn't happen. But if you go out and experience stuff, man, it opens up a whole new lifestyle for you that's just hard to beat. Really hard to beat.
Yeah. Joe the computer guy says, I'll never buy another house, having way too much fun.
Yep.
And I mean, again,
Lori's not on that fence. I'm on that fence. Lori's on the opposite side of that fence. At some point, she wants a house.
I think at some point, but I told him, it's like now, I only, back 3 years ago, the only thing I wanted was a house. Like, that was my idea of life and all that
And
stuff.
success.
Not RV just for the weekends, that's it. Now that I have been full-time RVing, I'm thinking it's like, well, at some point, I want also my house so we can have reliable Wi-Fi. It's like, but I don't think I want to be in that house all the time. It's like, first of all, I don't need a huge house. It's like when you live in a tiny RV, I think like even 1,000 square foot home or apartment looks huge. It's like, so I don't think I need a house, but it's like maybe at some point I go half time and half time or something like that. But that was you saying earlier. So
I think most of the guys would agree with me on this. What I'm looking for really is about 1,000 square foot house with a 5,000 square foot garage. Perfect.
see, it's like guys have totally different ideas than girls. It's like, I was gonna. Somebody says about don't climb. You still need to go to Banff. I thought we were already there, Don.
Yeah, Don, you know where you've already been there. Wink, wink.
Mike Oxmal is like, any major problems with your RV?
No, I mean not what I would consider major. I had the jack go out on me.
Okay, well you
And
say that. I'll be back.
you're gonna go change dresses, aren't you?
Yes, everybody.
Because everyone's like, you're freaking me out. You're gonna leave me alone with these people?
Yes.
Now you guys are in trouble. You're all mine. But I can't see this. I don't even know where my glasses are. Here they are. So, yeah. What do we got going on here?
Any problems with RV?
Oh, problems with the RV. Yeah, see, my ADD kicked in. We had the jack, which really wasn't a major problem, although it wound up being an expensive one. A used jack wound up being $1,300. And when we first started off, the first couple of months we had it, we replaced a throttle body for $200. What else, Lori? That's it. We had an AC motor go out. That was $90. That was back in 2017 when we were in Boston. But no, nothing major.
The water heater.
The water heater.
Yeah, you changed something with it.
I relief valve on a water heater, but that was $4, I think, or $6, something like that. But nothing major, no. And we're now at about close to 140,000 miles, and touch wood, it's worked like a charm. One of the reasons why we always recommend going used. You buy a brand new RV, and you still have the shakedown trips to go through, the bolts falling out. And now I walk through the RV, and we'll tighten up the screws and stuff as a walkthrough. I do that all the time.
Okay.
Checking bolts and things like that all the time. I need to do an oil change. I haven't done an oil change in almost 15,000 miles, which is right on the edge of the oil. The new synthetics will last 12 to 15,000 miles, and I'm right there. I like to change it every 10,000, but we're not there yet. So
So I changed my shirt, people, so you guys will not complain or think that you're going crazy. I don't know if it was both of our shirts though, because I heard somebody saying both of your shirts. So I'm not even sure if it's both of our
no, it's just you.
I know. It's
You were
always-
making them crazy.
It's always me. I always make everybody crazy, including this one. But anyway, questions.
What advice can you give to a couple to purchase a motorhome? Here's our advice on that, and nobody
Okay,
listens.
This is my advice. It's like your first RV that you're gonna buy. Don't buy too much because you don't know what you want yet.
Yeah, you don't know what your travel style is going to be.
So once you have gone on the road and you figure out, oh my God, I don't like this, I like that, or we traveled this way, I wish we have done that way, and all that stuff. And right now we're gonna totally put it in the spot and totally gonna tell about Allie and John. Like
Oh
what
yeah,
they
that's
have-
fine.
What they have
Allie
done
and John,
there.
are you guys here? My daughter and son-in-law.
It's like, but anyway, they got they're a family of 4, couple to kids. It's like they have a 28-foot trailer.
Right.
And Johnny, if you guys don't know, is like he's in a wheelchair. It's like, so he needs some space to move around. And then figure out, oh my God, it's like 28 foot. We thought it was going to be great for state parks and everything, but it's just too small. So what did they do? They bought a 5th wheel. How big?
I think it's 40 feet plus a truck, and they've never had an RV before.
It's a big
It's
fifth
enormous.
wheel. So now Ali has to back it up, trying to figure out how to do that and all that stuff. She's having a hard time. It's just too much for them now.
And it's too big.
It's too big. So it's like now they're like, we screw up. It's like now it's like they're thinking on actually going to a Class A.
Right.
But my
And
point
that's what
being,
they said is what should they get in a motorhome?
my point being is like within a year and a half, they have switched RVs 3 times because they're still trying to figure out their lifestyle.
Right, what they want, what they
What
really
they want. So, but on all this, they have been upside down
Right.
on their stuff.
And here's my thing with a motorhome. Everybody can live in a 45-foot motorhome. Everybody. There is no question. There's more than enough room. Everybody can live in a 40-foot motorhome. Start to get down to 35, you might weed a few people out. You start to get down to 30, you'll weed more out. 25 for a full-timer is almost impossible, but you still have people doing it. But do this. Get the absolute smallest motorhome you can be comfortable living in, because it will open up the spaces that you can stay in. You cannot, and I will argue this till the day I die, because I've seen people go, I have a 45 foot and I can stay wherever I want. That is a whole different statement than saying you have a 45 foot motorhome and you can stay everywhere that you can. Because you can't. There are places that you can't. There are places that we can't stay in our 35-foot motorhome. There's places that we've pulled into and went, nope, can't get in there. The place we stayed last night was up the side of this mountain that should have been a 4-wheel drive. There was a 40-foot Dynasty Monaco up there, a Monaco Dynasty up there. So that guy had a heck of a time getting up there. But we drove up there in our 35-foot. If we had a 30-foot, no problem at all. Climb that mountain and go park. If we had a Class B, no problem. So the shorter that you get an RV, the more spaces that you can stay in, the easier it is to maneuver.
Gas stations.
Gas stations, parking lots.
I know a lot of the bigger RVs, they only have to go to kind of like the travel stations. Like the,
Yeah, you got. If you have a 45-foot diesel, you're gonna only fill up at truck stops.
The Loves and the Flying J and all that kind of
Right.
stuff, because it's a size issue. It's like for us, we can be in small town America and try to find something, even at our size, and even us that we are kind of like in that borderline.
Right.
And I understand. I told Paul, I want to try at some point all the lifestyles. I want to go small. I want to go large at some point, and he disagrees with me.
I
He's
disagree.
like, but at some point, I would like to try
Because you're
also
not
the
driving it.
large RV to see how it's like. That's the thing, how it's like, and see and judge based on that.
Okay. If we had a 45-foot
See?
diesel pusher,
Okay.
if we have a
Oh my
45-foot
God.
diesel pusher, could we have went where we went yesterday?
45?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably not.
I saw 40 there.
If we had a 45-foot diesel pusher, could we have stayed in the William Kent State Park?
How long was
They're 40.
Stan and
They're
yeah.
at 40, I think, 38, 40, and they had a heck of a time.
Yeah, they have a 40-foot tip and Allegro bus, and they squeeze with butter through the campground.
Yeah, and stuff. But anyways, here's the deal. If you want a 45-foot coach, buy a 45-foot coach. Just know that there's places you're not going to be able to go. Period.
And also depends on how much you're spending time in your house. Like we have always said, it's like if you're gonna spend 3-4 months in one spot, I know there's a lot of snowbirds going from Canada to Arizona, from Canada to Florida, and you're gonna spend 3-4 months in one spot. It's like get the fifth.
Get a
wheel.
bigger coach.
Get a big fifth wheel because that's gonna be your house while you're there.
Right.
It's like you're just gonna deal with the transportation back and forth, but that was it. But if you're traveling fast, go as small as you can because it's just easier to get into places, look into places, fill up gas stations and all that stuff.
Or if you want to explore. If you don't care about exploring the smaller towns, the nooks and crannies of the United States, if you don't care about any of that, then you can go bigger. We wanted to get off the highways, we wanted to get off the interstates, and we wanted to explore the backwoods and the back roads. And to do that, you need something smaller, just smaller. But the smaller you can go and still be comfortable, the easier your travel will be.
That is true. I will agree with that statement.
So,
I would say James Fraser said Class B is the way to go if it's just two of you. Love the ease and flexibility of the lifestyle. Love, love, love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best investment I ever made. I'm going to do it full time. I have to say, we could not do a Class B because we will kill each other, first of all. And
Right.
two, we are outdoorsy as it comes to go on plan and hike. By just being outdoorsy outside of our RV, right outside our RV all the time, we're
Right.
not.
That's the other thing. The smaller the rig you go to, the more outdoorsy you have to be because you have to get out and enjoy the outdoors more. A Class B, you're absolutely right. I can't remember the name of the gentleman, sorry, that said that. But you're absolutely right. That is
James.
James, that is ideal. If you can do a Class B full time, man, your options are absolutely unlimited. Boondocking and dry camping and stealth inner city camping, all that kind of stuff is wide open to you. I don't think we could do it. I think we would have a hard time. If we were doing it part-time or if we were going to go to Europe for a few months, I would do that, but I don't know if I'm willing to do a Class B.
Class B is you have to go extremely minimalistic,
Yeah.
one, and two, you need to be extremely tidy with your stuff. And
Yeah,
somebody's
I'm not
that
tidy.
way. So
But I agree.
I'm just saying.
If I could go that small, life is easy. Life is easy. Where we are right now, this was a pain in the butt to get in where we are in this size. It was just there wasn't very much space here,
And everybody's chiming in with their opinions.
Yeah.
It's like M. Mercury says my DP is just under 32 feet. That's actually a great size,
Perfect.
I think. Don Klein, yeah, we used to look at the big ones too, but then we got edumacated.
edumacated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is that? Edumacated.
edumacated. It's a fun way of saying educated.
Educated.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. 8 Collins is like he's in UK. If you guys didn't know, 4 foot longer being in the UK will be a pain. Totally.
Yes. UK would be impossible.
George Smith. Actually, when we have people from Europe saying our RV, they're like, "Oh my God, your RV is huge," and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh my God, there's even bigger."
Yeah.
people.
How big's George's beaver?
George said, "It's like I love my 45-foot beaver, but if you want to travel a lot and explore, then Paul is right."
Right.
It's like, wow, that's the first one from
Well,
that's the first one.
That's because George is an honest guy and he's not
Yeah.
afraid to speak the truth.
Yeah,
But it's an awesome coach. Like I've seen 40 and 45 foot rigs and I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing.
I
And then
know.
I go, Yosemite,
They're awesome.
where we stayed in Yosemite. No way.
Yosemite?
Yosemite.
Yeah.
Those buses could barely get,
Oh,
maybe.
you're talking Sequoia.
Sequoia, yeah, that was just crazy. But anyways, buy whatever fits you. The closer you stay around 30 feet, the more options you have. But
Yeah.
buy whatever suits you, really.
Judy, I want to get a Class B. It's just me, so I think it will be fine. Only going part time to start with. I totally agree. If it's just you, totally.
Single person, Class B, absolutely.
It's
all the way.
just so much easier. But again, it's like also how outdoorsy you are. Are you gonna have the door open all the time, and you're gonna be outside all the time?
Yeah.
It's like that's
Yeah.
like for Paul. If he's outside trying to be outside working, he's so ADD. He will never get work done. He needs to be inside of the RV in his little bubble.
Strapped to my chair.
His little bubble, so he can actually edit and do this stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's not able to focus.
And if you guys look at other YouTubers, and I know KYD just went to a big coach because I know there's probably several reasons behind that, and they're saying they want to test every lifestyle, which is what Lori is saying. But you will see very, very few people online that say, I'm too small and I wanted to go bigger. But you see a lot of people that have a huge coach that are trying to go smaller. whatever floats your boat. You got to buy whatever makes you happy, and if the 45-foot diesel pusher is what makes you happy, do that. Just know that your options for traveling to certain places are going to be limited. Period.
Cindy actually says, tell people to rent first. Good way to find out what you like.
It is a good one.
I would say it's a good way, but it's like expensive.
Holy smokes,
way.
it's expensive to rent an RV. It is crazy.
We look into doing that when Paul was still trying to convince me to do it. He's like, oh, let's go and rent so you can check it out, see what's about and all that stuff. And when we saw the prices, it's like, holy crap, that's like a lot. Like for a week or two, it's almost like a yearly payment of one.
$250 a night for a Class A.
And that's just like the base price. You know, if you want the add-ons, like the extra miles and the extra whatever, you just gonna start climbing from up there.
And if you use the generator, it's $5 an hour. And if you flush the toilet, it's $4 a flush. They don't charge you for flushing the toilet, but
Ken Nutson, I'm trying to figure out this comment. We have a 45 Class A and pull a truck to get into smaller places.
what's that?
I'm trying to figure out that comment. Ken Cutson, we have a 45 Class A and pull a truck to get into smaller places. So when you're trying to get into smaller places, you leave your RV behind
right,
somewhere,
and then take the truck. But
and
that's
take the truck and tent, or I'm trying to figure out that one.
yeah, they pull the truck to get into smaller places. But that's what we're saying, Ken, is that when someone has a Class B, they can go park in the middle of the national park, and you can't do that in a 45. Yeah, you can park outside of the park and drive in, but the Kings Canyon where we just were, you can't take a 45-foot down into Kings Canyon, not into the parks down there. So yeah, you can park outside, and then it's an hour and a half, 2-hour drive to get into the park. And yeah, that's absolutely an option. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you want to stay in a national park, if you want to boondock in crazy cool places, you just have to have a smaller rig. Again, we're not saying that you can't do it in a 45. We can, and like my buddy George said, they love their 45-foot coach, but he also knows that you're going to have to park.
It's more limiting.
It's more limiting. Period. Now again, if that's the type of travel that you want to do, absolutely go for it. Do that. That's not the kind of travel I want to do. I want to go stay in crazy weird places. I want to park my coach up in the trees, like the place we went yesterday. When you guys see the video going up, and you can't tell going up the hill really what it's like, but I kind of laughed because I saw a video recently of somebody in a Class B saying, we're in our 4-wheel drive Class B and we're going up the side of this hill, and I was going, that's nothing. We do that in our Class A all the time. And I love doing that sort of stuff. If I couldn't do that, then this wouldn't be fun for me. It wouldn't be
Chris
fun.
Pelofalo says 2 weeks of renting an RV and we could have put a down payment on a new RV.
Yeah, exactly.
But with that being said, actually, Collins
It's still
said
cheaper.
that I look at renting for a holiday, it was cheaper to stay at motels. So yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they make it very expensive to rent an RV.
Now we saw the other day.
Maybe we could start an RV company.
It was people from I think Germany, and they were like probably like 8 people in one Class C.
Right.
So I'm assuming they all pitch in to actually rent the Class C as in transportation and way to cook and stuff like that. And they actually have the Class C and tents outside. So anyway, if you're using it just for a holiday or a vacation, it's like maybe that's the way to do it, just to check it out. Floyd the dog, that's actually Jim and Pam. I didn't know they were Jim and Pam, Floyd the dog. It's like
I
they're
didn't know
here.
that either.
They have a 26-feet GMC. Totally, it's like with an amazing renovation, by the way.
Yes, their renovation is awesome. But in at the end of all this, folks, don't believe a word we say. You gotta go test for yourself.
You gotta test, yeah.
You gotta go test for yourself. But you are going to walk into the huge coaches and you're gonna go, this is amazing, because we all do. But
John Sanessy says that you guys need to do more episodes of the Nosy Neighbors.
I know. I need to get caught up on what we're doing.
With that being said, it's like because Paul focused on the travel side, but yeah, he has so much stuff on the back burner like that he needs to get done. Like he has already the material, he just needs to edit.
I've got scripts written for stuff.
We have only one more Nosy Neighbors, and we have not shot another one.
No.
So you feel like you want to share with us your RV lists now?
Well, they have to be where we can get to them.
Got the complaint that we were doing only Class A's, but no, we did that B plus, and it's
we did a schoolie. The schoolie's the next one coming out.
Is the next one coming out? So
and I need to do more of that. You know, you guys, I get so many amazing comments about why the channel hasn't grown and why we're still where we are. We have all kinds of theories on that, but Lori's correct. Most people don't want to watch just people traveling around. They want to see some of the how-tos and things like that, which is more of that I need to do.
I know a lot of you guys are going into the lifestyle or preparing to go in 6 months, a year, 2 years from now into full-time RVing. So you need to know what apps do we use. By the way, before the other chat ended, there was somebody that asked, and I don't know who it was. I think it was E. What apps do we use? It's like for finding not only free boondocking but also other stuff.
Right. So
that actually we want to do a video about it. So, but that's the kind of videos we want to do to put it out there and help you guys to get on the road as easy as you can and as smooth as you can.
Right. So we need to do more of that stuff, more of the how-tos, and I get weirded out by that stuff because as soon as you do a how-to, which I've done a couple of them, all of the experts come out of and say, you should have did this, and you should have did that, and you should have did this. And I'm like, I literally have a bag of tools that's this big, and I've taken the rear axle out of this thing and replaced the rear axle and rear brake calipers and rear hubs and discs and everything on this thing with a bag of tools. So everyone's like, well, you should have this and you should have that. Yeah, I wish I could carry a 30-foot tool trailer with me, but I can't. So every time you do a how-to, you get ripped apart on all the ways that it should have been done. And all I'm doing is showing you the way that I do it. But I need to get over that stuff and I need to do more of that. That will grow the channel. You guys are amazing, and we have so many loyal viewers that have been around since the very beginning, and you love, because you know how goofy we are, and so you like watching the travel and finding out where we're going and things like that. But in order to grow the channel, I need to do some of the other stuff. I will say what I will not do, and I'm seeing a trend of it again, is all the bullshit drama stuff. I will not do it. I just won't do it. Plus, we don't have much drama in our life.
I told him to do it.
Or we should just get in fights in RV parks. We should just go and, like, just stir it up in RV parks. 3 years on the road, and you guys will know who this is. 3 years on the road, we've never had a fight in an RV park. We've never had a disagreement with somebody in an RV park. Like, all of those kind of things.
Yes.
The disagreement.
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Well, but that was a, hey, we're taking this spot. Well, I wanted to stay here. Well, no, we're already pulling into it, and then she huffed off. But, like, fights in RV parks, if you're having fights in RV parks, you might want to look in a mirror and decide that, you know, maybe not a very nice person. Like, guys, you guys need to just loosen up a little bit.
Okay.
Don't be so...
George Smith, Melissa won't go shorter than 45 foot.
Just cut me off.
Yeah, his rant is going too long. It's like he's ranting in this video a lot.
Yeah.
Just FYI. It's like...
Are we done yet?
It's like, I will go short next time, no more than 40 feet. That's George. Melissa, it's like, you're missing out in some places. But I get you too.
Was that George or Melissa saying that?
George saying that Melissa won't go shorter than 45 foot.
Then 45?
We met a couple, and I can remember the names, in Quartzsite, the first Quartzsite we went, that she will not go RVing if it was not in an Integra, and he got her an Integra, so they will go RVing, and I was like, wow.
That's a $400,000 coach.
Then I realized I was a very low maintenance girl, right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
if Lori said I'm not going RVing unless I have a $500,000 coach, I'd go, guess we're not RVing.
Paul Neville says 35-foot DPs in our near future. Just
35 is a good size.
A word of advisor. Be careful with that because we have heard from a lot of other viewers, and it's not only one person. We're talking about different people that have told us the same thing. They have a 32, 33-foot DP, and they hate the way it drives because there's so much weight in the back where the engine is.
That it porpoises.
It just moves a lot. So when driving,
they tend to do this on the shorter DPs because the weight's in the back. So you got to be very, very careful to load them heavy on the front. And yeah, we've heard that from more than one person. We've heard it from a salesperson.
Most RVs, you cannot load them heavy on the front anyway. There's no chemistry or base to load them heavy on the front anyway.
Right.
So just make sure is that you do your research and choose the right one.
Yeah. If you do a really short diesel pusher, just research the heck out of it. You can't exceed your tongue weight. If you put too much weight on the tongue, again, it takes even more weight off of the front end and it steers funky. And so just be very, very careful of that stuff. Again, if you're doing a diesel pusher, you want to be 35 foot plus. Just research that stuff.
Solar videos.
Yeah, I've got all the scripts written for the solar videos. So that's one of the things that I'm so far behind that I haven't gotten that. I've got the scripts written for that, and I need to do it. I mean, by the time I'm done, summer will be over. So hopefully between here and Salt Lake, I'm going to shoot. My intention was to do that a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't know we were going to stay in Tahoe for 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. But yeah, I've got the scripts written for that because that's the kind of stuff that I've got. I wanted to write stuff down to make sure I had the information right. And here's the other thing about some of this stuff. As I mentioned before, so many people are experts, and I didn't want to give my opinion on all of the solar stuff and all of that until I had really good information for everybody on how it works for us. And again, it's going to be, I don't know how it's going to work for you. I know it works for us. Right now, we have been off the hook for 5 or 6 days, and our batteries are full. They were full earlier today. Lori, last night we tripped a breaker on the thing because Lori had the microwave on, the cooktop going.
Induction cooktop.
I had laptops and camera plugged in, and then we turned on a TV, and that seemed to push us over the top, and that blew out. So we just turned the TV and stuff off, restarted the inverter, and things worked. But I wanted to make sure that I had the information that I needed to give you guys a really good working idea on how it works, because I've also had people that have told me that solar isn't worth the money. I'm telling you right now, after almost 2 years of use, right? We've had it a year and a half. No, a year, a year and a half. We installed it in March of last year, right? Yeah, when we left Quartzsite.
Yeah,
March of last year.
Year and a half.
So a year and a half we've had it now, and we spent between $6,000 and $8,000, and it is worth every freaking penny. Every penny. There is nobody that can tell me that it's not worth the money. But we boondock a lot. We try to be out of campgrounds as much as possible. If you're going campground to campground, don't install solar. That's the short of it. If you're always plugged in, don't install solar. You don't need it. If you want to stay out in the middle of nowhere for weeks on end, we can go 2 weeks without having to dump or get water. So the solar will last that whole time, no problem at all. But that stuff's coming. The scripts are written. I just need to stop hiking and having fun.
Well, Lupe Peralta, what's the MPG on your motorhome? I would say has been sucky lately because we have gone through the mountains.
Through the mountains, it's been horrible. It's been 5, but I would say most gas V10s pulling a vehicle are going to be between 6 and 7. Yeah, are going to be between 6 and 7.
And I would say that's your liquid rent. I think I heard Nomadic saying that, and it's true. It's your liquid rent when you pay for that.
Yeah.
So depending on how far you go or not, it's like you're gonna spend a lot of money or not. Lori Laws, I can run the microwave and the AC at the same time. Oh, of course not. AC pulls a lot of energy.
Yeah, no, but we can run our AC.
If you're plugged in.
If you're plugged in, you can. Yeah, you can run all that stuff.
In solar, we have already found out that we can actually run our AC for a few hours, like an hour.
Yeah, we can run it. We could probably run it. We haven't done a full test, but we know that we have run it. I've run it for an hour while Lori was in Walmart shopping and I was editing, and I wanted to make sure Ozzy was comfortable. So I ran the AC while she was inside. I think that I could probably run it on a bright sunshiny day. I could probably run it for 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Robin Sellers, hi guys. Do you find that your hair and clothes get really smoky when you have a campfire at night? I'm a smoke magnet, LOL. Absolutely. No,
Absolutely.
I think if you and I were in the same fire, I win.
You can out-smoke magnet her?
Because I will literally just go around the fire scene in different places, and the smoke will follow me wherever I am.
Yeah, there's always one person in the party that's I love campfires too. So, if we know we're going to do several, we have our campfire clothes, and you put those on at night for the campfire, and then you take them off and you hang them up in the shower or put them somewhere away from the rest of your clothes, and you change for the next day. And if you're going to do a campfire that night, you change back into your campfire jeans and shirt. Because you're gonna get smoky, and that's why there's so many people that want the propane stuff. I'm just not a propane fire guy.
I would like a propane fire. The only thing I don't like is carry with it. Again, another thing to carry.
Yeah, another thing to carry.
But I would say if I use the same sweater or same jacket for a fire, I'm in an area where we're gonna have a lot of fires. It's like I just keep that same jacket or sweater just outside my closet. I don't even put it in my closet. and I will use it for the next few days if
But
we're having constantly fires.
I love a campfire, man. Lots of great ideas come out of a campfire.
He loves it because he's not being chased by the smoke and with his eyes just like tearing down and just like.
Let me play a little mini violin for you.
I'm serious.
Sheesh.
He's like, okay, Rick Vance, he says, I watched you guys from the beginning of your journey and you guys have influenced us to go with a smaller rig. We were all game to go with a bigger rig. We thought bigger was better. LOL. I mean, I just read that. I know you wanted your rant, but I just wanted to read that so you see. And it's like people are still listening to you.
Well, that's because Rick's awesome.
But I have to say, it's like, I think the biggest thing is the whole trying to replace your house, and I think that's the wrong mentality. I mean, we're not.
That's what everybody does. You're living in a 2,000, 3,000 square foot house, and our house was 1,800 square feet.
Almost 19.
Almost 1,900 square
like
feet. So you're used to living in 1,900 square feet for 5 or 6 years, and so for some of you guys, it's 18 years. And then you walk into, this is around 200 square feet. You walk into a 200 square foot motorhome, you're like, what in the hell am I doing? It's really a tough transition to make that transition. But it's got a kitchen. It's got a table, a kitchen table. It's got a couch to sit on, and it's got a bedroom, and it's got a bathroom. What else do you need? You don't need much more than that. So when you think of it like that, you don't need that much space. And really the purpose of this is supposed to be outdoors. We don't go outdoors as much as we should. We go to campgrounds and we see all these people sitting outdoors with their coolers and their shades put up, and everyone's having a good time outdoors, and we're sitting inside going.
Well, I think another reason, one, he has to focus obviously to work too, but I'm a bug magnet. Like, I get bitten by everything.
Magnet, I will say that.
And he's like, and he knows it. Like, the other day we were hiking, 4 of us, we were hiking, and all the mosquitoes literally were like flying right behind me, like they were following me and got bitten all on my arms and everything. So I'm so afraid of getting bitten everywhere we go.
So I don't know if people just ignore the bugs or whether they, shower with DEET before they go out. We don't know how they do that. But yeah, we see people sitting outside and we walk out and we get choked out by bugs. We're such wussies. We're not good at this whole thing. Why are you guys even paying attention to us? Don't listen to anything we've said tonight.
Oh, Joshua says that on the fires he tries to stay on the opposite side from me. And he's like, that's a smart strategy, George. And he's like, 8 said something. Oh, you should try living in a 184-year-old pub. He's like, that sounds haunted. I don't know if I could do that. What was the story about the blowout and the tire minders? I'm assuming they're talking about Baja.
So we had 2 with that. The very first one, I was messing around with the inside valve stem or something, and we were leaving quartzite, and so the mistake I made was not rechecking a tire before we hit the road, and that's what I'm saying. If you check your tires every time you hit the road, never an issue. But we were doing something at quartzite, and I had taken too much air out of an inside tire, doing something with the tire minder. Drive down the road, the outside tires taking all of the weight. No, that was on our way to Phoenix out of quartzite. Outside tire took all the weight, blew out the outside tire, ripped the side marker lights off, tore a bunch of wiring out, destroyed the front of the tow dolly. It was a mess. But again, that was my fault. It was my fault. But if I hadn't have been messing around with the freaking TPMS, that would have never happened. But still my fault, because I should have checked the tires before we went on the road. Which again, whether you've got tire minders on or not, check your tires every single time you go to do a road trip. And then in Baja, we had aired down all the tires to go out into the nasty sandy stuff and down the 60 miles of dirt road or 40 miles of dirt road. We aired everything down 50%. We got to the RV park, I aired everything back up, and when I put all the tire minders back on, I must not have tightened one up enough, and down the rough roads in Mexico, it loosened, let a bunch of air out, the tire dropped to 0, and we're out in the middle of nowhere. Luckily, we have that Via air compressor, and we were able to air back up and tighten them back up. So that's the story behind the TPMS. But if I hadn't had the TPMS on, the air wouldn't have got taken out. but with the TPS on, it also notified us that a tire went low. So
use this to make sure it's
double-edged
well
sword.
tight.
Yeah, you make sure that they're on tight. Also, the first thing before you guys hit the road, everybody that has an RV should have a Via air compressor in their RV. It will save you a huge freaking tow bill at some point.
That's a must-have. That's another video I've been trying to get him to do, like must-haves for RVing.
And if you guys are ever wondering about all the stuff that we use in the RV, you go to Amazon.com/the Motorhome Experiment. And I don't have anywhere to put that underneath here, but it's easy. Amazon.com/the Motorhome Experiment. And we've got a list of all of the stuff we use inside the RV, outside the RV, her gadgets, stuff I use for the cameras and the drone and all that kind of stuff that we use. Most of it is on there. I've tried to update that stuff as much as possible, but most of that stuff is on there, including that Via air compressor. That thing will not only save you, but let's say you see somebody on the side of the road who's got a flat tire or a low tire, you can help them out. And I like that too.
Word of advice: if you're gonna put the TPMS on your tires, is like do not the flexible hoses on the inner tires, do the steel hoses. Yeah, make sure all the valves should be the hard valves, not the steel braided meshy ones. The flexible ones are not great. They may work and they may work forever for you, but the chances of them having an issue are a lot more than if you have the regular hard valves. Yes. Paul says, what's tone weight and how do you adjust weight distribution? Adjust weight distribution. So weight distribution in your RV. Now, there are people that will measure all four corners of your RV. I don't think that's necessary. If your RV is tracking fine, just measure front axle, rear axle, and you can, like ours has it right up beside the driver's thing. Like if you're driving right up here beside your head, it's normally going to say front axle weight and rear axle weight. You can pull into a truck stop and you can get that front axle weight, rear axle weight. Your tongue weight is where your hitch is, the weight of stuff on that tongue. And that's going to depend a lot on the trailer and what on a tow dolly, there's very little tongue weight. On our RV, I think the tongue weight is around 800 pounds. I saw on one of the diesel pushers, or actually the guy that we talked to about his diesel pusher porpoising like a bad dog, he says his tongue weight was 400 pounds. That is very, very, very little tongue weight. So that means on a trailer, the amount of weight that your trailer applies onto your hitch, that is your tongue weight. And so if this is your RV, this is your rear axle here, you put weight here, it takes weight off of the front end of your RV. So you have to be careful when you do that. If you take weight off the front of your RV, and it's anyone, not just a diesel pusher, anything, if your front wheels have very little weight on them and most of the weight's on the back of your RV, you're going to find that the front end feels a little bit loose and weird, and it's going to steer a little bit funky. You've got to have very level weight distribution in your RV. How do you change that? You take things that are in your RV, the heavy stuff, and you move it forward, or you shift them however you have to. Now, if you do a four-wheel way, now you're going to have to decide, okay, do I shift something from the back left to the front right and all that? I really don't think you need to get that technical with it, although people think that you have to. Measure front axle, back axle. Right now, we are under on our front axle and over on our back axle, but it's only by a small amount. So what I did is I aired up the back tires a little bit more to kind of even that out, so I wasn't going to have a blowout on the back. But our coach drives like a dream. It really handles well in side winds and cross winds, and I don't have any of the steering stabilizers or any of that stuff on it, and it just steers great. And I don't know if it's because of the weight distribution is right or what, but I see I hear people going, oh, I get to my destination, I'm tired from fighting the rig. I don't experience that. So maybe George Smith cat scale with toe attach.
Yeah. Cats, you can do the cat scale, but just you got to make sure that you distribute the weight in your RV right. That tongue weight is going to determine how much weight is on the back of your RV, and some of them, the hitch might not even take the weight of that trailer. So you got to be very, very conscious of that stuff and very careful of that stuff, so that you don't break anything off the back. Our friends the Hamptons, their hitch, I know it wasn't a weight issue, but their hitch actually, the weld broke loose from underneath their RV. And they almost lost their car down in Mexico. Scary situation. One side of the hitch broke loose, and somebody just happened to notice it dragging on the ground and pulled up, and very scary situation. You don't want that to happen to you. So distribution is just a matter of moving stuff around once you've weighed it. I see so many RVs going down the road with the RVs like the back end is on the ground and the front end's in the air, and they've got stuff hanging all over the back of the RV, and I'm going, that's just not safe.
Some RVs that instead of driving like this, they actually drive like this. So
yeah,
it's kinda crazy.
And you know, especially gas coaches. Diesels, you don't run into that very much. The diesels, man, those things, that's the one advantage of a diesel. You guys can take every piece of
that's what I was
gear
saying
that you
the other
want
day.
with you. You can take it all. Us gas coaches, we only have so much weight that we can carry.
With that being said, we're very conservative with our weight.
Yeah.
We're checking it out constantly, so we are able to pull those hills. I know a lot of people are like, you have to have a DP to actually, DP is diesel pusher, by the way. You have to have a DP to pull the hills. And it's like, it's not true. You can totally do it with a gas coach, but you have to be within your weight limit.
Yeah, if your gas coach isn't able to pull every single hill in the United States, including pulling your tow car, if you're having problems getting up the hill, you're overweight, baby. It's plain and simple. Mm-hmm. This is a 2006 with 140,000 miles, and I just traveled up through Tahoe, all around through the mountains here, Yosemite, Sequoia.
Yeah.
Not a single issue, because we know that we're under our total weight limit, and if you're over that weight limit, it's going to be a nightmare for you. And that's whether you're in a motorhome or towing a trailer.
Yeah, it's like George Smith says, I still have 4,000 pounds of gross weight that I could use. Like,
right.
I can use it for you if you...
George, get a boat!
It's like Kirk Emerson said, I just tried the Amazon link you have below, and it isn't linking to your store. It just goes to the front page of Amazon. So
Which one is that?
let me tell my tech guy here.
Yeah, let me tell the tech person then.
The Amazon
Which
link.
one?
And
It should be.
Did you tell him to
Yeah,
go to
it should be
Amazon?
Amazon.com/the motorhome experiment. It might be Amazon.com/store/the motorhome experiment. I'll have to check it. I can't check it right now. I'm eating peanuts.
Ralph Burr says, I have an inside flag right now because of the bob extenders. They're garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
They
you go
suck.
with the steel strap.
Go somewhere and have
then-
them put a good solid
And
run.
we are telling you that because the first time we had the blowout was because of that. So that's why we haven't changed.
That's right. I left Quartzite. I installed a valve extender, and that thing sucked.
Yes. Yeah, actually, there is some disagreement here. It's like Joe the computer guy says, I disagree on the 4-pound weight. I had mine done, and it was 500 pounds more on one side from the other. Should always use the manufacturer table for correct air pressure based on actual weight. So
Oh yeah, I agree with having that.
He likes it 4
But 500 pounds on one corner doesn't. It's just not worth worrying about.
And
But yeah, you should have all of your tires should be aired up properly. Absolutely.
Yeah. Don actually said, watch the episode today, going to buy the air compressor you recommended. Totally do it. It's just literally will save your life at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Yeah, we would have been stuck on the side of the road in Mexico in the middle of friggin' nowhere for who knows how long if we hadn't had that air
because
compressor.
we have the roadside assistance there, but come on, it's like by the time they get there in the middle of nowhere, it's gonna be a long time. John Chucker is like, I have a question. Do you think about people put easy starts on their air conditioner systems? So.
Oh yeah, if you have
should put it.
if you have solar and you want to run your ACs, you might have to put an easy start, John. I didn't, but we've got a 30 amp coach, so it's a little bit different. If you have a 50 amp coach, your ACs might be quite a bit stronger than ours. We have two ACs. I don't even know what they are, whether they're 15 amp or what it is, but we also have a system that's a shed system, and that might even be similar to an easy start. And I did it by mistake. I just happened to turn on the inverter, and the AC was already on from a RV park we were plugged into, and that thing came on. And I was just sitting there editing, and I had my earphones on, and all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap, the AC's on. And then I'm like, oh, it's getting cool in here. And I was like, wow, the AC works with the solar. And I wasn't even going to test that. Now, that's only one of the two. That was not both units. That was just one of them. And it worked. But yeah, you can do the easy start system. And what it does is it helps so that when the ACs come on, it's not this huge hit of current that'll zap your inverter. So yeah, the easy start's a good thing to do.
Okay, James B, do you regret going AGM over lithium, the batteries?
No, for us it was simply a
See,
monetary thing.
It was a monetary thing. Obviously, if you have the money, go lithium because you can. It's like a cell phone battery. You can go from 100 to 0 versus the AGM. You are only able to use 50% of them. With that being said, we have plenty of battery in our coach to fill our needs. Like I can literally, I have not used propane in so long because I cook with an induction cooktop. It's like I convection oven, microwave. I do whatever I want to do with our solar or power with the battery we have. So it's like it has not been an issue at all with us.
Yeah.
I think the only time we have an issue there was
if it's super cloudy for a few days.
3-day rain somewhere. I can't remember where was it. That's cloudy, rainy. It was Sequoia.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to turn it on like for an hour and a half. But I was cooking, like using high power.
We had to turn on the generator for an hour and a half.
An hour and a half, like because I was using high power appliance, the convection oven. So it's like that's the only reason. But it's like, do we regret them? It's like no. It's what we could pay at that point, and it's like but
yeah, we've got 500 amp hours, which is 250 usable on ours. In our AGMs, we can actually go down to 20%. We've never done that. I don't think we need to do that, but we've never done that. The lowest we've ever got down to is 40%. And if you look at that, 250 amp hours of usable was $1,300. Mm-hmm. So if you look at lithium to get 250 amp hours, so let's say we could even push that to 300 amp hours usable. So for 300 amp, to make the numbers easier, for 300 amp hours usable, we paid $1,300 for those. For 300 amp hours usable of the Battleborn batteries, you're looking at $2,700. So you're looking at twice as much. Now, the huge advantage of lithium is weight, because those three batteries would weigh much less than probably even the one of our AGMs. But for us at the time, it was just simply a monetary thing. I did not want to spend.
We have talked. We will do it all over again, like on the probably even on a future RV or something like that. We will put lithium.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like
if money's no object,
that's a
do
simple
lithium.
answer. Now, with that being said, I think also it's not only battery power; it's also solar power. Like what is filling the batteries. Because I can use my Instapot, the microwave, and everything in one day if I'm doing like cooking or prepping or something like that. And if it's a sunny day, it's like that power that I'm using is kind of coming back in as quick as I'm using it. So it has nothing to do at that point with the batteries. I'm not pulling almost battery from the batteries. I'm just using whatever like solar is coming in. Right now. So it's like also has to do with solar.
Because we have 1,050 watts of solar on the roof. And so yeah, in the middle of the day when the sun's beating, man, it's producing more power than we could possibly use. There's the other thing. One more thing. The lithium battery companies were selling the hell out of those without any concern for what kind of charging system people had, which really bothered me at Quartzsite, because a lot of people bought batteries that they weren't able to charge. So you got to watch for that stuff. People go, oh, I went and bought a bunch of lithium batteries. And I go, what kind of charger do you have? And they go, I have XYZ charger. And I'm like, well, that charger doesn't have a lithium profile and can't possibly charge those batteries right. And they go, what do you mean? And you go, well, those batteries need to be charged to 14.4 and your battery charger won't go over 13.7. All these numbers aren't going to mean a lot to some of you guys, but make sure that you've got the proper charging system, whether it be solar and or your actual battery charger that can charge your lithium. Don't just go out and buy lithium and think, oh, that's all I have to do is buy lithium and I'm good. Lithium is the way to go if money's no object, but make sure that your charging system will charge them as well.
Kirk Emerson says a huge advantage of lithium is charge cycles.
Yep.
That's where lithium saves you money in the long run.
Yep, I agree with that.
Lori Law says, get the lithium at Quartzsite. We got a pretty good deal. He's like, so yeah, thanks for answering the question. C, like literally the name is just C. Do you use your AC the whole time you're in the RV or just while you sleep?
We hardly
Um,
ever use the RC, the
we
AC if
try
we don't have to.
we try to be at the very fair weather so we don't have to use AC at all. I mean, because also if you want to go hiking or do activities, you don't want to be in the heat. But if we happen to be in a hot place,
We're gonna use the AC whenever
we're
we're in the
gonna
RV.
use the AC unless we're boondocking. Like right now, that is hot. You can see that we're all sweaty and everything. It's hot, but it's like we're dry camping, so we don't want to use AC. Could we use it right now? Probably. Can we actually use a generator? Probably. We just don't like to disturb our neighbors. We'd rather just like have our windows open and.
Yeah, it's a little bit warm here, but yeah, we
Yeah.
don't want to. We're parked literally in the middle of a bunch of tenters. I don't want to turn on my generator right now and run the AC. We could do that. I don't want to be that guy. So we'll wait. Once the sun goes down, it'll be a little bit warm tonight. We'll sleep with all the windows open, butt naked above the covers. Just a little TMI
Joe the
for you guys.
computer guy says I have a 600 amp hour of lithium and a 960 watt of solar, but I need it because of the residential refrigerator.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's true, those like residential fridges take a lot of power. So for you guys, you need a lot of power just to boondock a lot alone. So yes.
That's the one thing that we do is we set our refrigerator to LP, to propane. So it takes nothing. So that's the one thing is lithium and the amount of usable energy you have is going to be determined by what type of stuff you have in your RV. And if you have a residential fridge, I would almost say that you're looking at 500 to 600 amp hours minimum just to keep that thing running. And 900 watts is a good amount of solar. That's actually a great number. We had 700 at first, and it was pretty good except for on cloudy days.
725 it was.
And then once we added the extra panels on, we're at 10,050 now. It's awesome.
That has making it amazing.
It has made it just awesome.
Because before he will limit me, he will be like, "Oh, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You have to be conservative." And now it's like just use as much as you need.
Especially during the day, it's like if you're gonna cook during the day and use as much as you want. We're never gonna worry about it.
Do you have safety chains on your dolly that go to the frame of the car?
Nope.
The car, it says Jeff Glasso.
Nope.
No, what you said is like if you get to that point that you need them, you have done really something really wrong. So.
Yeah, the safety chains. I know U-Haul makes you wear them and makes you use them, and they recommend them. But Jeff, think about this: if both those straps on your wheels have broken, and the safety chains are the only thing left, your car is probably upside down in a ditch with the tow dolly still attached to it. I just can't see it ever becoming an issue. Like, I don't see that being used. Has anybody on here ever used safety chains on their dolly? Like, have they ever got somewhere and both straps are broken and the dolly is only attached by the safety chain? I'd like to hear that because I just don't see it happening. I've replaced ours one time now because I noticed that they looked old. They looked like they weren't going to hold anymore. I replaced the straps. But to have the straps and the safety chains on, I just see it as not necessary.
With that being said, do you have a breakaway emergency brake for the dinghy? I'm assuming
Absolutely.
so.
Absolutely, yes. And most, again, that kind of stuff, I have it, but I think that if something happens where that thing breaks away, we've lost the car. I don't know. Has anybody had one break away and the trailer, the dolly has actually pulled over onto the side of the road and stopped nicely with the car still intact? Like, those are the kind of things that I really think that you should have them on there. The breakaway, especially. You should have your safety chains on there, especially like going from the rig to your trailer or from your rig to your tow car. But man, oh man, if those things actually have to come into play, whoo, you've got some major issues on your hand. But yeah, I don't know if a trailer has ever broken away from from an RV or a truck or anything and wound up stopping and stopped your vehicle. That would be interesting. I'd like to hear if anybody has a storyline about that.
Okay, so which brings a question I never heard anyone ask before. Have you ever rotated your tires?
On the rig? Not since we put the new ones on. No. We put them on.
And Lori, by the way, Lori Hines says, how often do you change your tires? So I love that
We
question.
changed them in Quartzsite last year, or just after Quartzsite when we had the big blowout. We replaced all 6, and that was about I would think 10,000 miles ago. So we will probably start looking at that very, very soon. But no, we've never rotated them, and it's probably something that we should do. But yeah, never on the car. Yeah, we've done that several times on the car.
Slingerland. Hi guys, Stephen Haley from Portland here. Come back and we'll get you some better pizza. Portland has amazing food. I have to say, they're foodies over there.
Portland's got some amazing
I have
food.
noticed there's some cities or some states that they're foodies, so they will have so much available for others. It's amazing. It says Kirk Emerson says we're all here about like sharing information, not promoting his channel on YouTube, but if you want to learn all about solar, but Will Prause has some great info. Will Prause.
I don't know.
So I don't know what it is, but it's like we are not like selfish or like don't go to that channel.
Yeah, no,
like,
check it out.
Just check it out.
Absolutely.
Okay, Salt Lakes. My relatives have a 35-foot toy hauler, fifth wheel, and no solar. When we are out dry camping, they hook up to my RV.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Kevin has so much battery power that we have thought about plugging into his RV just to use his power. He's like,
yeah, we're gonna steal power from Kevin.
No way that he can use that much.
Kevin has 600 amp hours of lithium and 1,360 amp hours of solar. He's got more than enough energy for everybody.
He's like, we can all be on Florida, like all plugging in.
Yeah, we're gonna all just plug into Kevin.
He's like the power plant right there.
Mm-hmm. Of course, if Joe comes, Joe the computer guy, he's got more than enough for all of us too.
I know. My generators are with the chassis battery. That's Edwin, and it's like everybody can like love solar.
Yeah, I've heard other people again. Lori and I were talking about it earlier. We were sitting out here in the water. We were laying out in the water and talking about solar energies and electric cars and all that, and how so many people fight it. Like, well, solar sucks, and that it's not, clean energy is not the answer. And I'm like, well, but the alternative is that we do nothing. And for me, I would rather try the solar option and see if it works than to. What's my other option is to hook up more generators and to use more gas and be louder. I love the solar thing, and no, it's not perfect. The process of, again, I used to be a metallurgist, so the process of getting the metal out of the ground and creating an aluminum panel, it's a pretty drastic process to go through, and the silicon that it takes to make a panel. All of those processes are pretty harsh on the environment. So we need to get better at all that stuff, but you got to try. We've got to try to make solar work. We've got to try to make alternative energies work. We've got to try to make electric cars work, because I just don't see going, no, that stuff sucks. We shouldn't even look at it. I love the solar.
We're all about progress and trying to find new ways of doing stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I know there's already proven ways to do some stuff, but if it can be changed and can be better and all stuff in the future, why not?
Yeah, why not? And if I don't have to run my generator, awesome.
Oh, and better for you as a neighbor.
And if you're my neighbor, you're going to love me more. So if you guys have a better way to generate power, like I would love to have a wind turbine on here, but I've been told that it's noisy, so I don't know.
Everything.
Somehow if we could maybe pump water up onto the roof, the water goes down through a tube, it spins
like
a turbine.
A hydro plant.
Like a hydro plant. We could create our own hydro plant.
See, that makes you like so Canadian with the hydro. Lou says, have you had any problems with hooking up to shore power and having low voltage? Low voltage?
Low voltage we've never experienced it yet, Lou. In Mexico, it was high voltage. We saw voltage in Mexico as high as 145. So what did we do? We didn't plug in. We just used the solar. So we would plug in. My inverter will actually read the load coming in. So what I'll do is I'll plug in my surge protector. It shows good. I'll plug that in, walk around, and look at the voltage on the inverter. And if the inverter shows me a voltage I'm not happy with, either low or high, I just unplug and just use the solar. So we have never experienced that, but I know a lot of people have said that parks experience that, especially in the summer when you have everybody plugged in and everybody's got their solar, everybody's got their AC rolling. You're gonna get that.
Okay. Larry Hayes, I'm assuming is like for Tampa Meet. Check Brooksville Airport. It hosts RV meets.
Really?
So, Brooksville Airport. Or already make a note.
You already made a note?
Yeah, already made
How
a
did you
note.
do that?
I just took a picture of my phone and then it has the fancy.
Smart girl. All right, I was just gonna use my fancy pen. Thank you. That's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome.
See, I like discussions. It's like I do, but I don't. But it's like, Bud Shaw says solar and electric cars are okay, but where do the batteries go when they are done?
Well, that's what we have to figure out, right?
Yeah, I think part of it is actually recycled, and the other part is for most of disposal. And I know there's still a bad thing and disposal thing, but it's better than kind of like, I know some of you might not believe on climate change, but I do. So I'd rather have like a disposal issue than a climate change issue. But it's like that's another controversy though.
Well, no, but it will get better. Just like nuclear, the best power I still think is nuclear. But then you have people that are freaked out by the disposal of nuclear, and those are things that we have to figure out. Don't remember because none of us were around when it happened, but I'm sure that when Henry Ford first started mass producing cars, the horse and buggy people were like, oh, we can't do that. There's not enough gas stations. Where are you going to get gas? Gas is horrible. It's terrible for the environment, and there's not enough roads, and there was all these arguments for why we shouldn't go to automobiles, right? You should keep your horse and buggy. It's cheaper. You can feed it grass. But then cars have progressed so much over the last 100 years.
And it's all about finding solutions.
We have to find solutions, absolutely. Is it a terrible thing right now, batteries? Yeah, they suck. But lithium has gotten a whole lot better, but there's still issues behind that. Yeah, the metals used in it are terrible when they're being mined.
Right now, I would say it's like technology is improving so fast, and I'm sure like pretty soon it's gonna get better and better and better.
Right. But to not work on it, to me, is like, oh well, the battery technology sucks. Let's just quit. That to me, that's not how stuff works. To me, it's like the technology isn't there yet. Let's find out what we have to do to make it better. Okay, well the batteries suck and they're very toxic to the environment. Okay, well how do we fix that?
Okay. Ricky Bros, you'll have anything in storage?
Like stored, like
storage. Yeah, we
have a 4x5
super
storage
small
in Las
storage.
Vegas, and it's really got some goofy stuff in it. It's got my Dr. Pepper snowboard. It's got a Harley Davidson nightlight, like a clock that Lori's mom gave her, so I can't in my heart get rid of that.
You have your tour bag.
I have my tour golf bag that I use as a professional that has my name on it. I say junk it.
No,
I say burn it.
No,
Lori says no, but I just want to burn the thing.
But we have a bunch of boxes also with pictures, and I know
family photos and stuff. Yeah, we need to digitize that.
I need to digitize that. It's just making the time to digitize.
And then we have a table that Lori and I bought, like one of our first pieces of furniture, a table and an end table that we bought that we love. And we bought it together. It was our first furniture together.
Oh, at this
point we're like, screw it, we need to get rid of it.
We're still together. We'll get new furniture.
Yeah, we'll get new furniture down the road. But it's the sentimental stuff that's there. Dr. Pepper gave me the snowboard when I did an event for them, and of course I'm a huge Dr. Pepper fan, so I have a Dr. Pepper snowboard. But 4x5 storage, that's all we have left to our life, in our life.
You have been a great ambassador for Dr. Pepper.
I have been a great ambassador for Dr. Pepper.
And now more of a board.
But now I'm drinking Dr. Pete, so they're probably going to notice their stock values go down.
Keith Emerson, how often do you guys have to fire up the generator? I would say last time we did it was in Sequoia, and it was just literally for an hour and a half. And before that, I have no clue what was before
It was...
I mean, it's just so far in between that we really forget when was the last time. And sometimes we only have to do it because we have to.
Yeah.
It's like just as a kind of like maintenance as we have to use it kind of thing.
We did once in Mexico, I know, because the schoolie was parked next to us, and he'd come over and he goes, hey, I apologize, but I've got to fire up my generator. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. So I started ours up for 15 minutes, But that's the only time in the 3 months that we were in Mexico. Did we at the no, when we were in what's the place along the ocean? Rincon Parkway literally was overcast for 4 days, and I think on the third day we wound up turning it on for an hour to do a full charge because it was just kind of hovering at 70 to 80%, and it was just overcast. And finally we were like, let's bump it to 100%. Everybody else was firing up their generator, so we're like, everyone else being noisy, let's be noisy. And you couldn't hear shit anyways because of the waves crashing on the beach, so we fired it up, I think, for an hour to top off the batteries. But yeah, it's been very, very little. Holy smokes, it's been so little.
Rick Vance, do you have any issues with downhill with the gas coach? Everyone seems to praise about diesels. Gas coaches are so much more appealing with the pricing. That's a great question.
It's a great question, and I've been going to do a video on the tow haul mode. And not all the gas coaches have these. The Ford has a tow haul mode. What a diesel pusher, the advantage to a diesel pusher in a downhill is they have something called a Jacobson engine brake. And the Jacobson engine brake, I don't know this to be true, but my knowledge of how it works is it basically closes the valves in a certain way so that the engine you actually use the engine to slow the coach down. The engine slows down, which slows down the transmission, which slows down the rear axle. So you're actually using the engine instead of brakes, so you're not getting your brakes hot, right? So you're going down a hill, you'll hear a truck coming up to a stoplight. Why they use them when they're coming to stoplights, I don't know. It's totally unnecessary. It's really for coming down hills and stuff, but you'll hear a truck pull up to a stoplight or going down a hill, and you hear it going, "Arr!" Well, that's the Jacobson engine brake, or the truckers call it a Jake brake. So the diesel has that advantage going down big hills. This coach has what's called tow haul mode. I use the tow haul mode almost all the time because it works. And I hate to use the word similar because the diesel guys, especially diesel mechanics, will freak out. It's not the same. Well, because it's not really the same, but it does use your engine as a brake to slow your coach down. So in tow haul mode, it actually changes the pressures in your transmission and holds your gears lower. So when you're going down the hill, you hold the brake a little bit, you'll feel it drop down a gear. And then when it's in a lower gear, it will hold pressure back on the motorhome so that you don't go just freewheeling down the hill. So as we're going through the hills, I just have my tow haul on. If I get going a little fast, you just hold the brake a little bit. It'll change gears down into a lower gear, and then it holds back the engine so that which holds back the coach and slows you down. So they have a similar device in place, but most people don't even know what the tow haul mode is, and they never use it.
You can see sometimes RVs going down the hill in front of us, and you can see when they're hitting the brake.
Yeah, constantly.
Because of the lights, and you can see they're hitting it constantly. When Paul doesn't have to hit it that much because he has the tow haul mode.
Tow haul mode. So I should do a thing on that as well because tow haul changes the transmission pressures, and it'll also allow you when you're pulling up a hill, it holds in a lower gear, so it allows you to pull a little bit longer before it changes into a second gear, a third gear, or fourth gear. So again, guys, we've pulled this thing all over North America, up and down hills without a single issue.
Right now, we're going towards Colorado. That's supposed to be the place.
Yeah, it'll be really, really hilly there. I should have done it while I was here, but to say that you absolutely have to have a diesel pusher to travel across the country is a sales pitch that the diesel pusher salesmen are giving you. It's just not true.
The only upsell for me for a diesel pusher is just how much weight you can
You
carry.
can take more stuff with you. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
I'm talking about this, that we have the kayak and we have like the golf bags and all these things. Sometimes I have to pick and choose what I have with me. We left the golf bags in Vegas in the little tiny storage, so we can bring other stuff. So that's the one upsell of diesel pusher.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's not like you cannot travel around the country with a gas coach. It's like a lot of people do it already. We're not the first ones, we're not the last ones. A lot of people do it already. So it's like, don't worry about it.
And again, if money is no object, buy a diesel pusher. Like it's just going to be
a shorter diesel pusher.
It's going to be easier on you.
Yeah, don't go too long.
Well, but then you get into the porpoising issue if you do a short diesel pusher. So
it's always like.
But if you have and that's not necessarily true too, because we've talked to people again who are honest with us, and they go, their diesel pusher. We talked to someone recently has a Tiffin 32-foot Tiffin diesel pusher, and he said it sucks. He said it won't pull anything. He says that
Oh, their tow capacity is 4,500.
it's 4,500 pounds. My tow
That's nice.
capacity is 5,000 pounds. So I don't understand that. But yeah, there is a huge price difference in gas to diesel. But if money is no object, you're going to get a lot more miles out of a diesel pusher. The engine will go a lot more miles. Like you're going to get 500,000 miles or more out of a diesel if it's well maintained.
Yep.
But know that once it's out of its warranty period, every little thing that goes wrong with it is going to cost you 5 times more than off a gas coach as well. Like there was a guy in Phoenix that was having a fuel problem, a fuel injection problem, and Kevin and I were talking to him, and the guy says, "Oh yeah," he says, "it's something like $4,500 and it'll be done." And I was like, "Holy crap! Like, I could almost replace my entire motor for that." So, yeah, there's so many guys. There's so many different ways you can go. For me, this works fine, but if you want to carry your toys with you, you're going to have a diesel pusher.
There's always controversial things between diesel and gas. Also between towing for down to up.
Yeah,
or
all
for
the stuff.
up is like so. It's like somebody else. I cannot remember his name, but way past asked about like towing for down versus 2 up, like the pros and cons of either. And it's like, and also at the end of the day, it's also choice.
Yeah,
it's
personal preference.
Personal preference. So it's like it's up to what you want to do.
For me, the only disadvantage to towing with the dolly is having the dolly. That's the only thing for me.
Like if we have a flat tire, we can put the car in the dolly. That almost happened to us in Big Bend. Also, we're not wearing the tires on our car that are extremely more expensive than the ones in the dolly.
No steering in the car. None of that stuff.
Yeah, you're not putting. Well, I guess.
But anyways, that's a whole nother. That's a whole other thing.
thing.
But yeah, Rick, there's nothing wrong with buying a gas coach, man, and saving the money.
Okay.
But if you're gonna take all your toys with you, if you want to load it down with a bunch of stuff,
Go diesel.
you gotta have a diesel, man.
Vegas Roy, I'm waiting for the new Tesla pickup due out later this year. Paul told the funny thing
Dude,
is like
I want
Paul,
that thing.
Paul said that he will like we love the Class A lifestyle because we can be driving and I can go to the bathroom. We can be driving and I can just grab a snack. We can be driving and just whatever they want to do, right? Or even if we hear a drawer that is open or something like that, instead of like hearing the dishes crashing down, I just go back quick and close it, right? It's like now it's like the trailers and fifth wheels. They have so much more space. There's so much spaces. Even the kitchen, there's so much more spacious. It's crazy. Like every time we go into a trailer, somebody else's trailer or fifth wheel, it's just like so much more spacious. Even the shorter ones. You can go 30-foot fifth wheel and they're so much more spacious.
Yeah.
Like Lori's. It's like Lori and Paul. So it's just so cool. And Paul always said, but it's not our lifestyle. It's not how we like to travel. But Paul said, if we get a Tesla pickup
I would
truck,
consider doing a short fifth wheel.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that's kind of like his trade-off to get an electric car because we actually wanted to get a Tesla while on the road. But for me, that's kind of crazy. The car will be worth more than our actual RV. But
Yeah,
it's
even if we
like-
buy a used Tesla for $60,000, then we have a $30,000 RV pulling a $60,000 car. That's just a little weird.
It's weird, but we actually went to the dealer and because we wanted an electric car, and they told us it has to be like tow for up.
Yeah.
So at that point was the deal breaker for us because sometimes one of the downsides of the dolly, like if you do certain national parks, something like that, that the space is limited and you're not allowed to touch grass or dirt or anything. You have to fit in the small spot. The dolly always is on the way.
Yeah, so having a trailer is just out of the question.
Well, yeah, like for up towing something, it was totally out of the question. We're like, yeah, as much as we want one, it's like that's not gonna happen.
But a Tesla pickup with a fifth wheel, maybe.
Scott Blackstock. Hey, this is Scott and Gina Blackstock from Calhoun, Georgia. Calhoun, Georgia.
Kelowna?
It's like, we love watching you guys. Will you be coming to Georgia anytime soon? It's like, I would say once we are
Georgia.
around Florida.
Well, yeah, we're going to be very, very close to there on our way to Florida. Very close on our way to Florida.
Yeah. Brian, not able to link your Amazon store, but somebody else says if you just literally Google the Motorhome Experiment Amazon, it will show up. It will
Oh,
come
okay.
up.
And I'll figure that stuff out, guys. I apologize. But yeah, I think maybe if you just go to, just Google Motorhome Experiment, Amazon.com.
And so like says, it's like, however, there are fewer moving parts in a diesel than in a gas. Moving parts were down, so it's
Yes,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
thing.
You'll get a lot more miles out of a diesel than out of a gas for sure. Absolutely, no doubt about it. But diesel mechanics cost more money. Like there's the maintenance on a diesel is going to be more, but over the course of, like, if you do 500,000 miles with it, I don't know how many miles George has on his, but yeah, over the course of 500,000 miles, the cost averaging is probably going to be less.
But
for maintenance.
you have to keep the RV for that long.
But you're going to have to keep the RV for that long. And again, yeah, most people don't keep it that long.
Judy says, what is the difference in cost for maintenance between gas and diesel? I would say diesel is more expensive because it's considered more specialty item. So when you go to mechanics, gas or oil changes and all stuff, it's gonna be more expensive than gas.
Yeah, I would say, and I don't know. Again, is George Smith still on?
Are you on, George?
George, if you're still
yeah,
on,
he's on, yeah.
if you're still on, dude, what's it cost you for an oil change on your diesel? Because I know that our friends went to get one on their gas coach, and it was $200 for an oil change, including the oil. Oil change for us guys is $60. That includes my oil, because I do it myself. It's $60 for an oil
but
change.
if you go somewhere, I don't think it's even that expensive.
Oh, it's
I think
$200.
It's like, no, gas, no.
For a gas coach, that's what
Yeah.
Richard and Cheryl were. That's what they said they were going to charge. And I think if
Because-
anybody's got a gas coach,
No,
what does it charge?
I thought
What do they
Ken
charge
and
you?
Laura, they went to other place that was $89.
Well, that was at a Walmart in.
That was actually in Fairbanks.
In Fairbanks, and I think that they
in
were.
Fairbanks, everything
they were
is
mistaken.
expensive. You didn't know that everything is expensive in
Yeah.
Fairbanks. So
Yeah. But we've never paid for an oil change, so I don't know what it costs. But I'm assuming for a gas coach, it's around $200. For a diesel, I'm betting it's $500 or $600, and then you have your air dryer and all of the other things that they're gonna change out as well. So I would like to know that. But I do know that maintenance, your regular maintenance for a diesel coach is going to be 2 to 3 times more than on your gas coach. It has to be.
I don't know.
But again, your advantage with diesel, folks, is simply being able to take more stuff. It's going to ride better too, because it's going to be air ride. So that's another factor of it as well. It is going to ride better. It's going to be quieter because the engine's in the back. So there are some advantages. There's no doubt about it. But it's going to cost you a bunch of money.
Church says, bring the golf back to the Tampa campfire. That's not.
Yes.
No,
that's a
not
great
gonna
idea.
happen.
We
No.
can, like, the Burning Man. We can do the burning
No.
bag,
No.
symbolizing my old golf
No.
pro life is over.
No.
Why? That's a great idea,
I like
George.
that bag.
I like it. Yeah, but it's just sitting there. It's just a golf bag.
Solex says, have you ever gone thrift stores shopping at like a garage sales? We don't go to garage sales.
Mm-mm.
I don't think that
I'm allergic to them.
see them on the road. We really don't see them on the
No,
road. Like
because you got to be driving in a neighborhood, and I don't see them. Yeah, I'm allergic to garage
No.
sales, George.
Paul
Solex.
has an adversity.
Yeah, I
With
don't
that
like.
being said,
if
in Lake Tahoe, I went and I did a cleanup of the RV because one of the things about RV, you never stop downsizing people. You think like once you're from the home to the RV, you stop downsizing, but somehow you accumulate more stuff on the road. And not too long ago, I did like a cleanup of the RV, bringing stuff out for donation, and I have bags and bags of donation. I went to the Goodwill in Tahoe to donate all my bags, and all of a sudden, the store looks so pretty and shiny. That Goodwill, I have never seen a nicest Goodwill store. And I was like, oh, you know what? It's like, I need a belt, so I'm going to check out to see if they have anything. And I came back with a bag full of stuff. It's like, it just happened. So it's like, do I go thrift shopping a lot? No, I think this is the first time in a very long time.
But it's a great way on the road because you can
like,
get rid of some clothes that you had and get some new clothes. So you go to Goodwill, you donate some, and you buy more. So
I need to make
that's
donuts.
not a bad thing.
I bought the donut tray. I have not done donuts.
Yeah.
It's like,
How many people do we still have on? You see what time it is?
oh, yeah, we probably need to go for the
We need to go. It's 7:20.
Oh my God, we're over the 2 hours.
Yeah. We've just been hanging out with everybody. Thank you guys. I mean, that's
I'm
amazing.
sorry, guys. We can
We
like
just sit
didn't
here and
keep-
love talking to you guys.
Yeah, we
it's
didn't
amazing.
keep track of the time. I'm sorry.
No, so we should do 7:30. So we go another 8 minutes. How many people are still here hanging with us? 40, 20?
233.
What is wrong with you people? Don't you have something to do on Saturday nights? You guys are amazing. Like, absolutely amazing. Incredible.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop totally reading, and then we're gonna focus on saying goodbye.
What do you mean you're gonna stop reading?
Eight Collins says it's like it's only 3:23.
Oh, Aid, dude.
I forget
Aid
you're
Collins, you're
they're
crazy,
totally
man.
different time
Yeah,
zone.
he's over in the UK. Do we have anybody else overseas today?
Kirk Emerson is Lauren available for hire as an interpreter for trips into Mexico. Give me a call. He's like I go anytime.
Yeah. One of the things about going to Mexico, everyone says like you got to speak the language. It's just not necessary. Use Google Translate for the most part. Sometimes having her with us was a pain because at the checkpoints they just wanted to talk to her, and it's like everyone else are going, yeah, go through. They check you out, they get out, and then they leave. Lori, they're like, oh, what are you doing? How long you been in here?
Not necessarily a bad thing.
What are you
Even
doing
one of
already?
the on the checkpoints, like the last one actually was, like the guy was telling me, it's like, when are you two having babies? He's like, you're already getting older for having babies, and I was like, oh my god, you sound like my mom. He's like, it was just so funny though, like that dude. He's like, just being on my life basically.
Yeah, but if you plan on going to Mexico, Baja or whatever, just go. Use Google Translate, man. You won't regret it. It's an awesome trip.
It's funny.
The drive down sucks, but once you get down there, it's awesome.
It's funny when you said like, what are you people thinking? Why are you still here?
Yeah.
Don says hanging with you guys. Tom says like all the cool people are still on. George Smith says it's like I have no life. It's like oh my god, he's now choking.
Don't read that stuff when I'm drinking.
Oh my god.
George, that's too funny, dude.
Lindy
Dr.
Lou,
Pete coming out your nose?
Lindy
Sucks.
Lou, nothing on TV on Saturday nights. LOL.
Ah,
It's
man.
like Charron says you're much more interesting than anything on TV. Love
Oh
watching
my
you.
goodness, you guys kill
It's
me.
Like,
You guys slay me.
Yeah, Jen says it's 2025 East Coast time. Yeah, it's like.
And again, it's because of you guys. That's why we're here. That's why we're still doing this stuff. But.
Cynthia, love hanging with you guys. Brenda also says I don't have a life. LOL.
Now I've got sugary Dr. Pete in my nostrils.
Is it sweet?
It's a little sweet smelling, yeah.
Oh yeah, Judy, you never stop downsizing. Absolutely.
No.
Pamela Rogers, you can travel anywhere with English. Don't be afraid to go. It's like it's kind of true. Even
That is true.
even in Europe, I would say there's some actual countries that they will rather talk to me in Spanish than in English. But for the most part, everybody will
Right.
speak English.
But think about when we went to Quebec. I mean, none of us spoke French. You don't speak French.
No.
But we found people that spoke English. And we always heard that, oh, when you go to Quebec, nobody wants to speak English to you because they're stuck up. We didn't find that.
Oh, Gorka. He's in
We didn't find that at all.
Northern Ireland. It's 324, so the same.
Hey, do you know Aid Collins? You guys should say hello.
Totally different countries.
Well, they're going to have to travel a little bit, but Aid's a good guy. You should meet him. He's awesome.
Some people are already trying to say goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.
And by the way, somebody donated. I'm not sure who you are, but someone donated $10. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, guys. That's awesome. Thank you. That'll buy another bottle of wine for Lori.
Edwin, are you Mexican? Yes, I am. It's like, although sometimes people have it wrong in the comments, people think I'm from different parts of the world, but I am from
Yep.
Mexico.
Yep. Oh,
He's
and we do have some of our Patreon members on, so thank you guys for supporting us over there. We appreciate that. If you guys don't know, we're now on patreon.com/the Motorhome Experiment, and that's just been awesome. Something that I had struggled to do for a long time. Still struggling
He really
with.
does. He really does.
Still struggling with.
And
it.
that was Paul Nevu, the one that I gave the $10.
Who was?
Paul Nevu. It's like
Paul,
Junior.
thank you very much, sir.
Thanks for
Appreciate
answering
you.
all my questions. He said, "It's like RV cruising. It's been fun, guys. Looking forward to your Florida trip. Me too. I'm looking forward to that."
Yeah.
It's like it's funny because it's like I thought it's like Florida feels like summer in the winter, but it's like now we have had so much summer that it's gonna feel
Yeah.
like all year round summer. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool though.
Remember, if you guys are in the Salt Lake area or somewhere in Colorado, make sure you reach out on Facebook or somewhere and shoot us a message because we're heading that way. After Colorado, we really don't know. Well, like I said, we've got some maybe commitments where we have to come back to California. We'll see. We'll let everybody know what's going on there. But
I think it's gonna happen, the California thing. So I think it's gonna happen. It is gonna happen. We're gonna go back to Cali at some point later
maybe.
in a few months. So it's like due to a commitment, but it's like I think it's gonna happen. So even if you're on the West Coast and around that area, we might see you.
Yeah.
Southern
And
California.
we'll talk about that as soon as we know. We just don't
Yeah,
know
we
yet.
cannot just like confirm anything until it's like a for sure
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yep.
so I think it's time to call it the night. We are way past
Oh,
the
wait,
2
who else is
hours
there?
plus the other meetup.
Oh, and it's time for me to.
And by the way, George, thank you. You said we are the only other channel that you actually see. It's like so. I can't believe that. I actually do not believe that, but it's okay.
Somebody says for the longest time he thought Lorena was from Puerto Rico. So did I. I know. When I got-
It's like, yeah, you have met all my family in Mexico. So, I'm in Cali until October, Joe the Computer Guy, then Vegas for Escaper Saying. It's like, are you buying an RV park? It's like, no, not buying.
You never
but
know.
I don't think buying, making one.
Cindy, are you and Russ going to loan us the money for that?
It's like, anyway, it's like, I think it's like time to go. Everybody is like ready to go. So it's like,
Bye, Chris.
Thank you so much, guys, for like staying for so long. We appreciate your questions as well. This is what makes the life. It's like answering all the questions because I know like one person ask us, but it's like it applies to 10 people probably in the chat,
Right.
20 people in the chat.
Right.
So thank you for asking those questions.
Right.
It's like next month, hopefully we'd see you and get your questions ready for next month, whatever you have in mind, from literally from budget to personal to ads to coach to whatever it is. It's like have your like stuff ready. And we really appreciate like all you. It's like we really appreciate you.
One more thing I want to say.
Yes.
Don't believe anything we tell you. Always research everything, guys. The things we tell you are only our opinion. It's our experiences. It's what we know from what we've been doing. So call bullshit on everything, and don't be afraid to call us out. When we say something that you don't agree with, tell us so that we can have a discussion around that. We love that stuff. It's how we get smarter.
We love discussions. Like there's some that we love discussions because make us smarter. Like he says, we learn from the other side. It's like it's not like you have to be one or the other. You don't have to be gas or diesel. You don't have to be. It's like
Solar,
for
not
down
solar.
or dolly, solar not solar. You don't have to be anything. You can just see and weigh your choices and see what fits your lifestyle. What is that you think that you like, and that's what makes this like a better place and a better world.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I don't know what that was all about.
I don't know either, but guys, thank you and see you until the next one.
Next time. Bye.
Uh-oh. The
Bye.
volume keeps coming up with...
Lori can't unplug. She doesn't know how to work this.